What's happening? What's happening, Facebook and YouTube? A couple of technical difficulties while I'm sorting stuff out. Mainly getting a beer. Welcome. Well, I'm going to be sitting here for a little while, just making sure everything's working. To be honest, this is more a experiment because I'm bored. Because I'm bored. Let me open my Facebook a minute because I can't even see if anybody's talking to me or anything. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Awesome. Well, I don't know what's happening with that. So yeah, hopefully tonight now, SpaceX will be launching Starship, and I know I'm a geek about it and I go on about it all the time. This is going to be version 3, still a prototype, but this should be the final design now, or more or less. It's going to be tweaked all the time. We'll jump into the live stream in a second, and just for info, well, I will get my Facebook open actually, just so that I can see if you can't hear me or stuff. That would be helpful. Where is my doodah? So look, sorted. Yeah, if anyone's about, drop me a message. Oh yes, there we go, Mr. Duke. Happening. Yes. Cheers, man. So it's probably going to be a bit of a long night. I say we've got 1 hour 49 until launch. Roughly, that's till the launch window opens. And then from there, we see what's what. Give me 1 sec. So yeah, basically, this is what's going to happen. Look, we will jump in. And that's currently live now. Hang on, I'm out of the window. That's currently live. So that's the fuel farm spooling up, ready to obviously load it with all of its fuel. We'll get some stats up in a bit as well. Hang on, let me just get my chat back open. Yeah, Mr. Newman, long time no see, sir. Well, I can see you now anyway. Yes, bud. Mr. Newman from UB Massive. Yeah, I don't expect you to be here all night, but that's okay. Oh, hang on a minute. There we go. Yeah, let's say 1 hour 47. So we'll be flip back and forth between the live stream over there. We'll tune in. SpaceX are going to be live at something like 11:15. So what we'll do is we'll switch over to SpaceX at 11:15. So like I say, for now, we've got Starbase Live. They definitely deserve a subscribe on YouTube. Starbase Live or NASA Space Flight. You can see the logo in the bottom corner there somewhere. Obviously, I'm going to be having a look at their live stream until SpaceX come on. I've got them in my ears here as well, so I'm keeping an eye on things. Weather at the moment is 55% go, so it's going to be windy, like skydiving in the UK. And if they're yeah, I'll show you full screen later, Newman. But also, so what they're launching, Newman, is called Starship, or at least that's the top bit anyway. I didn't know where I'm looking here. The top bit up there. There. That's basically what they call like the second stage. So that's the bit that's going to go to space. Then in that bottom section there is what they call super heavy, which is, well, it's basically a skyscraper, man. They put in skyscrapers in space. Then at the top of that tower, the black thing, the chopsticks, like Daniel-san, they're going to not tonight. They're going to catch the boosters, or they've already caught one before, maybe two. I think two, but they're going to catch a booster in the future, and the ships are going to come back. So basically, going to revolutionize the space industry by making, and this is what this is, the first fully reusable, fully rapid reusable, it's a mouthful, rocket. Yeah, it's awesome. Actually, we'll get some stats up in a bit now. Let me just jump back to the chat to see what's going on there. Oh, did you? I don't know what you're on about, but I don't know what you're on about. I am hijacking somebody else's stream, but I'm not making money or anything off this. I got a cool background on my other bit. Hang on, let me switch back a minute. I got a cool background up behind me, but there. Oh, hang on a minute. We're gonna just tune into these guys for a second. Give me a sec. Let's.
3 engines. All of these changes allow for improved performance and a more simplified design, which helps a lot when it comes to reuse. For this flight in particular, though, Booster 19 will not be flying back to the launch site for a catch. It will instead attempt a similar flight profile out in the Gulf. This isn't surprising, though, given it's the first flight of a version 3 booster and also the first flight from Pad 2. Both the vehicle and the pad need to be demonstrated before advancing. Some of the most important changes to the version 3 ship have to do with its future missions in space. For example, the entire thrust system has been revamped, with more vents facing...
Awesome. Yeah, so what he's talking about there, basically, the entire thing, even though it's version 3 now, the entire thing has basically been redesigned. Every little detail about it is different. The engines being the big one. It's cool. I got a good little background there, but then I haven't got a background there. What's going on, man? I'm a fixer. Anyway, welcome everybody. I'm going to settle in for a nice late night. We've got an hour and 43 minutes until the launch window opens. So, if you're about for the evening, drop me a message. Nice one, Simon. Thank you, man. I'm going off the top of my head here, and I've slept since the last launch. Well, did you, man? We'll see if we can join. You could join me one day. That'd be awesome. Maybe go skydiving, and then we'll time it so that we can basically grab a beer if you drink now and watch a launch like. Right, there me. So I'm going to duck out just for a sec. Yeah, good question, Rob. So, well, what's it not going to do? Again, I get some stats up later, but we're going from basically being able to put something low, like 30 tons in low Earth orbit with one launch. With this thing, when it's fully operational, it's going to be up to 200 tons. So what it's all about is it's about getting the cost per kilogram to low Earth orbit down. And it's currently, I'm not going to put a figure on it, but it was ridiculous, like in the thousands of dollars per kilogram, like, well, tens of thousands, like 50 odd thousand. I'll actually get it up when I get settled on stream. I'll get it up because I'll be able to flick through and check. But yeah, sorry, I've had a couple of beers already and it's all kicking in. So yeah, it's what it's not going to do. It's going to do everything, man. Hopefully collecting space debris. That's a handy one. It's going to be put in mainly as well Starlink version 3 satellites. They're gigantic. So they're too big to fit on the Falcon 9 rocket at the moment. So therefore, they're going to go on there. John, man. Dylan's chin, well, that's in another dimension, man. So I don't think we'll be able to comment on that. But 200 tons, mind. Be able to launch 200 tons to low Earth orbit, which is quite impressive. Yes, Digi legend. Happy days. Right, let me get back. And I'll listen in a minute. Happy days. So, there we go.
All right, so there is a rundown on what's going on with this flight versus some other flights. But what we've zoomed in now, that's a critical thing we were looking out for, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, I was actually mentioning this before we went to that playback, and indeed, we have now a tower event. For those that may not know, this is the start of the chill down of the lines that go up to the tower for the ship quick disconnect arm. These are the lines that will eventually load propellant into the ship. And before that happens, of course, they need to be conditioned. They need to be at the right temperatures for that. So they're flowing a little bit of that liquid oxygen through that line. This venting that you see there is actually that oxygen escaping through one of the vents on that line, as otherwise it will build up pressure, and you don't want that kind of thing, because otherwise things go boom.
And the whole idea here, right? Oh, hey, we got a helicopter. Look at that.
Look at that.
It's almost like if you lined it up just right, it would look like the Cybertruck had the helicopter blades on top. Be like sort of a not futuristic Airwolf looking thing. Alex, we were talking about the tower vent there. Let me say this: we see the lines going up there. You said it's oxygen coming out of that, right? Did I get that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they're thermally conditioning all the lines in the tower. For the folks at home who aren't rocket engineers, have you ever taken a tray of ice cubes out of the freezer? Right? Remember ice cubes in the freezer? You take the ice cubes out of the freezer and they start to pop and crack because you're taking those cold ice cubes out into a thermally different environment, your kitchen, which I hope isn't as cold as your freezer, and they start to change. The thermal changes make them start to crack, and little cracks will form, and you can hear it happening, right? Think about that in reverse for all of the metal lines and tubes on the tower. You don't want them to be at sun normal temperatures here in South Texas, 80s, 90 degrees with the sun beating down on them, and then all of a sudden put colder than ice cold cryogenic propellants through them. If you do that, you can actually thermally shock them and damage some of those structures. They might crack just like your ice cubes, but in the other direction. This is a super generalization, by the way. The science people out there are going to be like, well, actually, but it's close enough. So that's why they're running those things through the tower to start that thermal conditioning so that when they hit it with that super cold cryogenic propellant, it doesn't crack the lines and freeze the pumps and cause all sorts of problems. You want to ease those things down to their operating temperatures before you flow those large volumes of super cold liquids through, right, Alex?
Yeah, and you said that. I also got reminded. It's happened to me sometimes, especially with certain glasses.
Oh, yeah, very good. Yes, the moon, people, the moon. So. Thank you, Digi. I need to keep moving it, man.
Warming up.
There we go. Thank you so much, Digi. you were meant to be hearing the other guys who were meant to be hearing me. I forgot to mute them. And I haven't got a little hotkey for it, which is a pain in the ass because I've got to keep flicking between computers. But hey ho. Thank you very much for the feedback, man. Rob Newman, don't be sorry for all the questions. Number one, it's lovely to see you. Well, I can't see you, but it's lovely to be chatting to you because it's been too long, man. It's been like 20 years since we finished university. And to be honest, man, this is the culmination of what I've done since uni. So welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show, man. Yeah, we had some good times back in uni, didn't we, bud? The best, like. So, note to self, keep remembering to mute stuff. I'm going to do a... Hang on. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do here. Well, basically, I'm going to turn the camera off in a second. Just because now I'm settled and I was late getting on. I was just finishing setting up. So, I'm going to leave a little countdown timer on in a minute. Only for 5 minutes. I'm busting for pee. I'm going to get a top up on my beer. And we'll settle in. But... what we'd be looking for, so this is what, T-minus 1 hour 36. So we're 90 minutes before, excuse me, about 90 minutes before launch, we'll get the SpaceX live stream and they'll start loading propellant. Look at that there. They'll start loading propellant at the same time. It's mad to think Oh, we'll go that later. Hang on, we'll go that later. I'm getting too involved a second. I haven't even settled down yet. So let me figure out how to pause this or something. But thank you very much, everybody. Where's my main feed, Digi? Oh, to be honest, man, I'm a bit of a... I don't really know. I've Googled and YouTubed and all sorts to get this up and running. So I'm going through something called Restream, and I'm streaming to YouTube and Facebook. Does that make sense? So I've put a stream key into Restream, and we're away to go. I'm only actually looking at Facebook, mind. When I go downstairs, I'll have a look at the YouTubes and see what that's doing. But if you're just tuning in, good morning, and all the rest of it. Merry Christmas. Nice to see you. We're settling down. Hopefully we're going to see a rocket with the pointy end up and the flamey end down in just over an hour and a half. That'll be lovely. So when we do go into the sort of SpaceX live stream, when they get into the countdown, they can stop. And sometimes they put an intentional stop in 40 seconds before, so T-minus 40 seconds they might hold. But we'll also listen into these guys as well. They're chirping on in the background. I'm not really paying attention to them at the moment, but every time they're saying something important about the weather or about whether the vehicle is okay, we're going to try and tune in, and I keep trying to remember to mute them again. But if you're about for an hour or so, grab a beer, fill your boots. Oh, I got Duolingo to do before midnight as well, so we'll probably wait till after launch to do Duo. So, lovely, lovely times. Right then. Oh, beer of choice tonight is Angelo Peretti. Wherever it is, Angelo Peretti, man. I don't really drink much, but I thought tonight's special because I wanted to do this little stream for a while, just to try and get a few people excited about it, excited about spaceflight, and to watch a flying skyscraper. So I'm gonna have a couple of beers tonight, man. No, unfortunately, Digi, it won't be visible. Just because of the sort of inclination, so it's going to take off, and they'll put it up hopefully, and I'll point to it when they put it up. But it's going to take off from Texas. It's going to go out over the coast, over the ocean, and splash down just west or northwest of Australia, off the coast of Australia. And that'll be about 50 minutes after launch, something like that. So what we're looking at now is the big tower is obviously going to be fueling the ship shortly, and that big white bit of steam, well, I say steam, that's super cooled, well, it's either methane, oxygen, or nitrogen at the moment. So it's like minus 270 degrees or something centigrade. So they pre-cooling all the pipes so that when they run the actual liquid fuel up there, well, it'll flow. It'll flow. Yeah, Peretti's alright, Peretti's alright. If we actually go and we lift off, I'll probably have a little shot of Pandarian whiskey. I do like a whiskey. Until I get kicked off for like breaking community guidelines or something. I don't know. Typically, I'm using my phone for the camera as well, otherwise I'd be on flight radar looking for all this. But basically, that's a helicopter, and it's flying somewhere for now. Normally they drop in there and they refuel. It's quite cool. How many horsepower does it take for a skyscraper to go to space? Many horses. Many horses. I'd love to do some maths, like, of all the horses that have ever raced in the Grand National put together, I don't think that's enough horses power. There's millions of pounds of thrust at launch, man. Rob loads. Yeah, like loads, millions of pounds of thrust. Again, like I say, I do need 10 minutes or so, not even 10 minutes, 5 minutes just to get a top up and sort this. I'm still working out how to turn my camera and stuff. So what I will do, give me a sec, is I do that. Oh, no, where am I? I will do that. Yeah, sorted, right. So I've gone for a minute. I'm going to mute myself. I should have put a bit of music on so I can play a little bit of background music. Stand by. Hang on a minute. Right, hang on. I'm back again. Let's see if I can find a little bit of background music I can stick on for you. Let's see. Maybe. No, I don't. Oh, I need my phone. Got it. Give me a sec. No, I don't. Sorry, you guys. So what I will do is I will just leave this running for a second. I'm not going to unmute these guys because I get copyrighted. But we'll leave it running there, and I will be back super shortly. 5 minutes, all right? Lovely to speak to everybody and see everyone. Right, hang on, I'm back in because I need to try and find what do you call it? Yes, guns don't kill people. Low turns do. I seen it in a documentary on BBC Two. Hold up. Where is it? Excuse me. Right. Haha, got it. Stand off by. We're getting there, team. We're getting there. Press P, Pornhub comes up. There we go. We mute that. Right then, enjoy a little bit of Ninjas with Altitude. Is that me? Oh, well, I'm there. Of course I'm there. Happy days.
Don't kill people, low turns do. Ask my man Ryan Mancy and he tell you it's true. It's a fact, swooping makes you violent. Like Harvey Weinstein telling Brucey Johnson to be silent. You don't believe me?
Sweet. Right. Back in a bit. See you shortly.
This swoop shit is breeding. It's a fact, I lost a window, left me bleeding. Brian Fasher made my mother say fuck. If I just did flight 1, then I would have been in luck, but I didn't. I got it wrong. Becoming a badass was just taking too long, so I started. I bought a new katana, that bad boy vibe made my cock and balls harder. So remember kids, whilst you're on a weather hold, guns don't kill people, you've been told. Guns don't kill people, low turns do. It's not a fun police. Woo, woo, woo. Guns don't kill people, low turns do. It's not a fun police. Woo, woo, woo. Guns don't kill people, low turns do. I seen it in a documentary on BBC 2. Spend time on training is extra value. Point breaking like Patrick Swayze knew you. Incident statistics are sometimes misleading. The type of lunacy Swoop is breeding. Downsize too soon, no wonder you stop breathing. Montgomery to Butler over, are you receiving? Remember Point Break when I was 11. Bodie's now up in Hookturn heaven. Roach and Gromit, R.I.P. Even Gary Busey's in the cemetery. It's not a fun police. Woo, woo, woo. Guns don't kill people, low turns do. It's not a fun police. Woo, woo, woo. Guns don't kill people, low turns do. I'm a fucking swooper and I might kill you. As a sky god, I'll teach you this first. The swoopers are the ones that gets all the girls. Just hop and pop, don't go to the top. Buy a logbook cover from the DZ shop. Hop and pop gangster tripping. Even Paul Capsey's into 450 whipping. It's like Cluedo, Murder One. Bill Booth and Regan in a nightclub with a gun. Ali Milne rocks up, wants to get down. Guns don't kill people, don't be a clown. 1, 2, you didn't even lose a shoe. My name's Drew's News and I'm coming through. Trust in my rears, adding more rotation. And I'll be swooping for the nation. The green is on and I can't fucking wait. I'm gonna swoop and not give up on the gates. Crew dogs ashamed and they haven't got a clue. Crew is more deadly than fucking kung fu. Guns don't kill people, low turns do. It's not a fun police. Woo, woo, woo. Guns don't kill people, low turns do. It's not a fun police. Woo, woo, woo. Guns don't kill people, low turns do. From CP1 to CP2, I wanna swoop, I wanna rhyme. Heard it in a song and now I'm swooping all the time. Navigators, pilots and heat waves are lame. Gotta have a layer to be in the swoop game. Like Tony Butler, having a poop. Guns don't kill people, it's just swoop. Guns don't kill people, low turns do. It's not a fun police. Woo, woo, woo. Guns don't kill people, low turns do. It's not a fun police. Woo, woo, woo. Guns. Low turns. Guns. Low turns. Guns. Low turns. Guns. Low turns. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad.
Thanks for giving the video a watch. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and it hasn't wasted your day. For anybody who is interested in getting into high performance landing, in the description below are links to a wealth of knowledge for you. Thanks guys. Drew's News.
As I walk to the flight line with my chest wrapped undone, I take a look at myself and realize I'm fucking dumb. Cause I've been hopping and popping so long that even my mama thinks that my logbook is wrong. But I ain't never got a sticker and didn't earn it. You be treated like a woofo if you didn't learn it. You better watch how you're strolling, cause I'm patrolling, or you and your homies will be DZ controlling. The friends are just the best and it ain't no joke. As they jump I see myself in the thick red smoke, fool. I'm the kind of G that hasn't cut away since March. Look, locate, cut away, reserve, arch. Been spending most their lives flying someone else's tunnel time. I've had my functions once or twice, cause I'm fucking jumping all the time. I've gotta load my verbal account, so I'm working loads of overtime. I'm gonna get my knees in the breeze, cause I'm off to jumper's paradise. Look at the weather stations across the nation. It's fucking pissing down with rain and winds are up to hurricane. So I gotta be down on the ground, see. Too much Leo Volkov watching got me chasing dreams. I'm a tandem instructor, fool with money on my mind. Got my shackers on display and a gleam in my eyes. She's a loped out gangster parachute packer. Throw out Out of Shaka, you get one right back at you.
Yeah, what's happening?
The sky ain't nothing but a plane right away. I'm busting for a shit, I gotta hold it all day. It's lift 3 now,
Look
but will
out.
I live to see lift for the way things is going? I don't know. Tell me why do we need AAD? Swap my crossfire 3 for your Valkyrie.
Been spending most of their lives flying someone else's tongue all the time. I've had my functions once or twice, cause I fucking jump in all the time. My knees in the breeze, cause I'm up jumper's paradise.
The fog and the cloud, the wind and the showers, hold after hold, hour after hour. Everyone went jumping, but half them landed off. I'm swooping through the gates,
Cause I'm a fucking sky, gotta say I gotta learn, but nobody's there to teach me. If they get swooped up in, then how can they reach me? I guess they can, I guess they're afraid, they get the fronts. That's why I know they never get late, fool. Need ADs.
Swap my crossfire 3 for your Valkyrie. Tell me why do we need ADs? Swap my crossfire 3 for your
No, we're gonna delete that. Oh, look out. Bit of Leo Volkov. Love a bit of Leo. Look at him go by. He's awesome. Right then, let's get back to the show. There's no show as such, but we'll close that. Oh, look out, around a bit of a weather update. So this is Ryan. Ryan from NASA Space Flight. Obviously, look at him checking the NOTAMs, making sure the airspace is clear, etc., etc. Get the... We'll... oh, that's better. We'll swap it around. I got the... The problem is, I've been putting off doing a stream like this for about 3 years because I've not been ready. So tonight I decided, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Sorry about a beer or two now. Bad language inbound. So yeah, I've been meaning to do this for a couple of years now and it's overdue. I think the future's happening and it's happening right under our noses and we're not even noticing. Because it's happening at such a fast pace. There's so much, and I don't just mean in spaceflight, I mean all around it. Look at medicine. The only thing that doesn't seem to be functioning at the moment around the world is politics, but we're not going to get into that because this is a politics-free zone. Don't care. Don't want to know. Keep your politics to yourself, please. Yeah, thanks for the Be Right Back tunes, Digi. That was your idea, buddy. I did try to message you back, but again, there's one of the little teething problems. I can't really message back on Facebook. I can message back on YouTube, but not Facebook. And then Rob from earlier on a few P units. If you don't know what the P unit is, I will, again, probably not on this stream, on another stream in the future. I'll show you the P unit. My first car was magnificent. It was a 1.3 Proton GL, triple valve. It had more angles than 17 protractors. And the reason it got called a P unit was because it looked like the kind of car a paedophile would drive. Probably should have muted myself saying paedophile then, but hey-ho. And the boys even bought me a die cap, if you know what a die cap is, to wear when I drove it. Unbelievable, Jeff. Unbelievable. YouTube link, did you? If you go onto YouTube and just type in ninjas with altitude. NWA ninjas with altitude. Sorry about the dog barking in the background. I live in the middle of Beirut at the moment. Talking of YouTube though, if you are on YouTube, nip over to NASA Space Flight, give them a subscribe and a thumbs up on their stream, because obviously I'm hijacking it. And I strongly suggest, if you like stuff like this, NASA Space Flight is the boy. They are the absolute... is there such a thing as industry leaders when it comes to sort of reporting on spaceflight? Like this view here now is a live stream that they've had running for since everything you see there was a sandbank. Like there used to be nothing there, and over the last 5-6 years I've watched it turn into this launch complex. So yeah, at least there's plenty of activity. Oh, interesting, Digi. Interesting. Yeah, like I say, teething problems, man. I don't really know what I'm doing with all this, but we'll get to grips with it, man. We'll get to grips with it. I think of playing a drinking game. If anybody's got a suggestion for a drinking game, I think when SpaceX start their live stream, I think I will drink every time they say test flight. We'll add it to bullshit bingo. In fact, I'm going to get a whiteboard and we're going to start bullshit bingo. Let's have a go. Well, to be honest, with Facebook and what have you, whether if it's working or not, great. Doesn't matter. Like I say, I'm just keen to get everybody watching. Oh, interesting. Oh, there we go. There we go. Look out. Oh, look out. We're up and running. I can chat in the YouTube chat, so if you are on Facebook and you've got a YouTube channel, pop over to Ninjas with Altitude and oh, look at that for a shot. Yeah, super wide fisheye. Yeah, if you are there, pop over to YouTube and type in Ninjas with Altitude. Give me a subscribe, that would be amazing. I'm never going to be rich, and I don't intend on... Well, I say don't intend. If I make myself rich from this, great. Give loads of money away. Spend loads of money too. Probably spend it before I can give it away. If anybody knows me, knows how good I am with money. Oh, Digi, you are my hero, man. Thank you very much. Gotta start somewhere, haven't you, bud? Awesome. Yeah, so I just popped that in the chat there, especially with Digi. About Dan Morgan, rest his soul. He sadly passed away last week. I pay my respects to Dan. I can remember it was a rainy day in Swansea Airport, and Dan and Rob and Ricky taught me how to pack a tandem. And I remember them all sat there on the little tables drinking cans of pop from the machine, just absolutely ripping the piss out of me because I couldn't pack a parachute. But fair play, look, well, 17 years later, here we are. Yeah, my hero Dan. So No such thing as a rich skydiver. Yeah, that's right, man. What's the saying? If you want to make $1 million in skydiving, you need to start with 2 million, and you'd end up with $1 million. Let me just have a little look. So a week today, but internationally. I'll private message you. Man. But like I say, lovely to catch up with a couple of people I haven't spoken to for a while. Thanks for tuning in. We're just about an hour and 10 minutes away from hopefully watching this flight. I have ordered a KFC and it has arrived, but this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back and I'm going to eat on stream, because why not? But I'm going to flip the camera when I'm not eating. Let me just get that sorted. What's that one? Where is this? Downloads. Right then, I'll do it. Moon 2. Moon 2. Sorry, won't be a second. Moon 2. Hey, why is it that way around? What the hell? Oh, I don't know. So what I'm trying to do, yeah, this moon beer. Where's the moon? Where's the moon? There's the moon. Give me a sec, I'll show you what I'm on about now. My background, the moon there. I only want it just behind me. But it's everywhere. Get off. Let's have a look. So for example, that's what I want. But like, you can see just that side of me there, there's this big gap where there's something, and I want to rotate this image 90 degrees. Do you think I can do it? Can I, bollocks? But I'm going to go grab me KFC in a second now. Right then, hang about. I think I've got it. That's right, that's better, man. Ready? Yes. There we go. The moon is moonish. I just need to write a jingle for it now. Ninjas with altitude. Yes, Digi. Counting down with me, man. Cheers. Is it? I'm surprised Facebook can. So I've just had a message saying Facebook is giving me subtitles. I thought my accent is a lot better since I've been living up north. People can't understand me, man. So I speak a bit properer. But yeah, here we go. Excuse me, 1 hour 5 minutes. That went down the wrong hole. Getting too excited. Oh, Ryan Organ, brother man, how are you doing, buddy? Welcome, Ryan. We're gonna watch a flying skyscraper, but there we are. Look at this fella next to me, bear. Give me 1 second. Ryan, do you know what, man? You, buddy, have no idea how can I put this? Not how much you've inspired me, because clearly I'm having a beer, but to people, I can't think how to put it, but to people out there, man, you were such an inspiration, and it was awful to see you down in the depths, buddy, but I think God helped you. Hats off, JC. JC is my homeboy. And do you know what, man? It's lovely to see you the way you're doing at the moment, but you're on top of the world. I can't believe you go running, oh man, you're mental. Why you go running? Get in the car and drive, man. This is the same as these people on exercise bikes. Why do you want to exercise and push your legs in one go and not go anywhere? Jimmy McCarthy, hold tight, my Aussie crew. Welcome, my man. Nice to kind of see you. Right then. Is that work? Oh, there we go. Right, so they've pushed the time back a little bit now. So we're back to 1 hour 33 minutes to launch. Oh, that was a lovely shot of Starship up there. And one of these differences is sort of at the bottom of the ship. Let's see if I can point now. Wait a sec, I'll put my mouse on it. So, you can't, can you see me? Yeah, you can see my mouse. So, this bit here, what this is the main engines, or there's 6 engines underneath there, under the ship. And what they were doing when they first started launching was, this ring was called a hot staging ring. So basically it's got openings in it so that when the main engines light on the ship, well, it's still getting thrust from the booster. So it's still getting a little bit of push, which makes it a bit more efficient. But obviously it needs somewhere for the flame to go. So the flame comes out. Well, on the earlier models of this, what they were doing was they'd have this, what they call, like I say, a hot staging ring. And once the ship engines fire up and the ship disappears, this ring, which is literally all of these things here, all of these doodads, that would disconnect and then free fall back, land in the sea, and it makes the booster a lot lighter then, ready to fly back down. But this is one of the big differences with the booster on version 3, which is this one, is that this hot staging ring is now integrated, so it's not going to disconnect from the booster. So it's actually going to stay connected, because they want to be able to refly these boosters 3 times a day, at least, you know. And if you keep throwing away this one thing, this one ring to collect, you can see it better there now, just there, look. Yeah, if you keep throwing this away into the sea and collecting it and you can't use it for another week, well, it's not exactly rapidly reusable, is it? So they've now integrated it into the booster so that, well, it's not gonna separate after the ship, which will be awesome to see tonight. Fingers crossed. Oh, Ryan Organ, man. I'm glad you still got your sense of humour, bro. Like, one of my best mates in school, buddy. Genuine. Absolutely loved our times. We were rogues together, weren't we, man? oh, Jesus, there's Tim Webb as well. Tim, man. You know what? There's some old fellas coming out of the woodwork tonight. Tim Webb is probably my oldest friend. His brother shot me in the head. Remember that, Tim? I'm doing all right, buddy. I'm doing all right. I say I'm bored, so I thought I'd mess with my technology and do a little bit of a live stream. Hopefully we're going to watch that big stainless steel rocket go up in the air now. But yeah, we're good, man. We're good. Man, that's well, it's not exactly famous, but that's one of my claims to fame, that is, man. Never let bullshit get in the way of a good story. I often tell people how I was shot in the head when I was a kid. Or at least that's my justification for my adult behaviour, I suppose, but... Oh, man. But it'd be lovely to see you at some point soon, when I'm home. Go for a pint or what have you. It's been a while, but... It's been a while. I have a full screen for a second. We'll get away with doing a full screen. So we've got an hour and 29 minutes now. So that helicopter has just popped in for a bit of fuel, and off he goes again. Again, if I had my phone in my hand, I'd have a look on flight radar, because I'd see what he's up to. But it could be the Coast Guard. I'm listening in here, but to be honest, I'm talking and listening at the same time. Very difficult. But sorry, I'm talking as if you can see me. You can't even see me. Not to worry. That's it. Should never play cops and robbers. Got my gat, fool. Oh, Ryan Organ. Don't tell me I bet. Well, you're saying about old pictures, man. I'd love to see that. So, what was it? Just after Christmas, I was going through a lot of my mother's stuff. Stuff in my mother's. And I come across a load of old 8mm video camcorder tapes. But the camcorder's broke. So what I done, I went on Vinted and I picked myself up a camcorder. It's down by there. I can't be asked to pick up. And I started to go through them. And you know, I was looking at my 1992, 1993, 1994 Christmas present unwrappings the other day. And I've started to digitize them all. So the family can all look out, especially my cousin Christopher. Excuse me, Christopher, but I've got some properly incriminating video of you, but when you were a young boy, well, a young man, dancing like it was the 90s. Oh, yes, Maruvka. How you doing, my man? Life is good, bro. Life is good. How's the Polish connection? Oh, I'm flying through the beers. I reckon I got at least another one in me before lift off. Oh, did you? I can remember, because probably, as you know, I got no shame. I can remember. Well, we look for the year later, or if you know the year, tell me. But when Peter Andre, beautiful woman or whatever, beautiful girl, came out, I'm pretty sure I robbed the camera off my old man, set it up in my bedroom, and started lip syncing to it with a hairbrush. Well, not a hairbrush, but you know what I mean. We'll stereotype. I'll come across that at some point, and then next to me there I got a load of tapes. So over the next couple of months, I'm going to go through them. Oh, but it's going to be awful. But there's some quality stuff on it. I say it's been lovely to see. Like 1994, I had a Mega Drive, and well, I've got the Mega Drive next to me. But there, you know, it's just lovely. All of this history. Right then. So we'll tune into these guys for a second, because they're talking about some like testing. Yeah, Yeah, so when they're on about testing, they've failed a couple of tests already, as you know. But people always think because they disassemble rapidly but not on schedule, or in the right way around, rapidly unscheduled disassembly, people think they always fail. And you see the headlines and stuff, oh, SpaceX failed. What you're forgetting, or what people forget, is that this is a prototype. So they're not built to fail. Obviously, they have an objective they try to fly to achieve. But when you test to such a high, what's the word? It's high pressure. It's high intensity. So when you test so rigorously and stuff, you're gonna blow stuff up. You're gonna make mistakes. Like the launch pad is a good example. Like stage 0, what Elon called it, was everybody said that, oh, you need some kind of flame diversion under the launch mount, and some kind of noise suppression because it's going to be too big. You've got 33 massive engines punching out all of this sonic wave at launch, and Elon, knowing better, said, "Now we'll be grand." So they took the first launch and then it obliterated the. Sorry again, I'm talking to you as if I'm there. It obliterated the launch pad. So everybody said, "Oh, you need to put in a flame diverter or some kind of noise suppression." And Elon said, "No, it's fine. What we'll do, we'll just use extra strong concrete, fondag." So they upgraded the base, and they launched again, and it absolutely destroyed the launch pad again. So by the next time, he started to come around to the idea that they needed some kind of water or flame suppression and noise suppression. And they built basically an upside down shower head that just before the engines start, it showers up all this water. And like I say, keeps everything nice and cool and all the rest of that jazz. And it kind of worked, but obviously through a couple of launches, well, again, like I said earlier, he's on about rapid reusability. And if you have to inspect the launch pad for weeks on end or a couple of weeks at a time after a launch, then you're not going to get rapid reusability. So what you're looking at now in the bottom left of that screen there is Starship on pad 2. Here we go. Oh, and you got a nice close-up of the integrated hot staging ring there. Sorry, I'm just listening to these guys a minute. We'll have a listen.
That I need to go do to prepare some of our robotic tracking assets here on the roof of the Margaritaville at South Padre. But joining me is going to be Mr. Sawyer Rosasi. Sawyer, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Doc.
Awesome, yeah. So, I'd love to get there one day. And if I can go back to full screen again, you can see on the right hand, maybe you can't, but on the right hand side there are the two launch towers next to each other, the twin towers as they call them. Give me a sec. Yeah, how's everyone doing? We all good? We all good down there? Sorry I'm late, but it's going to be a long night. We've got an hour and a half yet. Hot stage my ring, Dan Crawford. Bloody hell, man. It's a bit extreme, innit? Cost you at least a £5. How you doing tonight, my man? My wingman? Love a bit of inappropriateness. Right. So all I'm going to do, I am going to grab my KFC, and all I'm going to do in between bites, I'm just going to turn the camera off, but I'm bloody starving. So stand by it. I'll only be 10 seconds. I'll be back with my KFC now. Sorry, Travis boy. Oh, look at this. Alright, boy. Of course you'll be around with this food about. Do you want to come and say hello? Look, over here. Over here. Come on. Come all the way around, you sausage. There you go. And then if you turn round, lovely. Boy. Happy days. Right. I'm going to have a little look as well to see how far off being live SpaceX are. Oof, yes. So 11:13 p.m. we'll tune into Twitter, not Twitter, SpaceX. And we'll get cracking our way. Sorry, I'm thinking of food. I'm just thinking of food now. Ah, have you seen the NWA merch, Dan? You see the NWA merch? If it's on camera, I'm not really sure. I got such a delay. Yeah, there we go. Well, so the merch is, well, I've done a web shop and stuff, but the thing is, like I say, I've talked about this nonsense. In fact, Dan, as you know, for longer than a couple of years, but it's been over 10 years. So all this is, I made a shop and I bought one myself. I bought one for myself and a cap. But what I was going to do was I was going to do a giveaway on the stream because, well, I was thinking of some kind of competition or something, but I can't think what competition to do. Sorry, give me a sec. I've just worked out something because I keep flicking back and forth to see the chat and stuff, but I don't need to. Awesome, there we go. I can see the chat as well now. Give me a sec. That's magic. So, I'm just going to tune out. I'm going to have a quick smash of some food. That'll be about 10 seconds.
Oh, man. Also, it's really cool to see some of the past NSF people on stream. I mean, to see Jack in there from his Flight 11 video. So many people that we've had here at NSF, if you watch past broadcasts, going, where are they? They've kind of moved on, but they're doing great things. I mean, we have, what is it? We've had 5 people now who have taken the NSF pipeline to now work at SpaceX, including many of them that are in Starbase for this particular launch today. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, probably more than 5 by now, to be fair. I think I lost count already.
I think it's 5 since I've been working here at least. Possibly more, yes. But and we continue to see there that vent coming from the tower. We also saw that tank farm still kind of venty. Is there anything, Alex, that we're looking for in particular coming up now that we're kind of under that hour 20-minute mark?
We're mostly, so from a visual standpoint, the only thing remaining will be that tower vent, because it seems like it's actually doing what we saw yesterday on the wet dress rehearsal, where it sort of started, then died down, and then it started again, and then it died out. It was a mess. I have a spreadsheet here with what happened yesterday, and it's a mess of tower vent starts, tower vent disappears, tower vent starts, tower vent disappears, and multiple different times written down and everything. It's bonkers what they did yesterday with that tower vent. But it seems like right now they're doing pretty much the same, because it died down before a couple of minutes ago as we were playing that video, and then it went up again, which is quite funny, to be honest. But yeah, it could be doing the same sort of behavior today as well, where it sort of starts, disappears, starts, disappears. It's a bit of a cuckoo game, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's basically just watching Advent, of course, watching for updates from SpaceX. We had that 30-minute delay being called at T-minus 1 hour and 5 minutes or so when we were tracking a liftoff at 5:30 p.m. Now we're tracking 6 p.m. So potentially in about 11 minutes from now, we may see another update from SpaceX. We'll see whether that actually occurs or not. If we don't get an update, I will venture to say that maybe if it happens to be that they actually go through and they decide to go to the poll, to that go, no-go poll at T-minus 50 minutes, then that is when we might get the next official update. But as we always say, we'll just keep waiting and see what happens.
Exactly. I mean, We joke about the Texas Tank Watchers, where we would just sit and watch tanks for hours and hours. If you've been joining us, including during the stakeout stream, that's kind of what we've been doing today. But this is when things finally start to pick up and get really exciting now. The final 75 minutes, hopefully, at this point here. Also, I love the view on the bottom, as Das has been talking about, trying to protect all of our cameras and gear with that protective plating in front of that wide-angle lens. And then, of course, we have those super close-up shots like the ones you see in the top left and top middle that are probably a little bit on the dangerous close side, but that's why we're nicknaming it Danger Lot and our Danger Trailer over by Danger Hopper? I don't know. Maybe a little too far on that one. Oh, man. Now, chat, I've been seeing you guys with all of the hype in here, even with everything still going on with the delays. There's a lot of hype in chat. Ryan, is there any questions from chat?
We have questions. You can rest assured, we have questions. We have so many questions coming in. If you do have questions, do tag us at NASA Spaceflight or at NSF. First of all, ResistoJet is asking, why have they put black squares on the underside of the ship? Alex, I'm going to assume they're asking about the new patches of heat shields that have been, well, I say patches, large splodges of heat shield that have been added to the shiny side of Starship.
Yeah, based on the material that they have used to apply those tiles, it seems like they're trying to test some kind of new glue. We talked about this before, where the great majority of the tiles on Starship, about I will venture to say maybe 90% of all the tiles on Starship, maybe even more than 90% in fact, are pinned. So there are pins welded to the body of the ship, and then there's like a sort of a triangular sort of backing that is on each tile that holds the mechanical connections to those pins on the vehicle. However, there's a minority of these tiles that are in very hard to sort of place areas for these
Wiggy boy.
pin tiles.
I'm all the way back, man.
Maybe.
There we go. What's happening? Leo Callahan, Wiggy, my man. So just to keep everybody updated, we're going to have, in about 23 minutes, we're going to hopefully enter the go or no-go poll. As you can see in that video there,
because that glue used to fail every now and then.
There's plenty of activity.
For the most part, most of the tiles will stick on and will stay on.
It's just cooling liquid. Or it's boil off, rather. So all that gas inside those tanks is so cold that it's, well, when it's in the warm atmosphere, it's becoming not smoke or steam, it's becoming stuff. If you've come for technical analysis, you've come to the wrong place. If you've come for jargon, we're good. Right. Yes, you can see me, Wiggy. Excellent work. Excellent work, man. I'm just going to swap back out for a sec. We'll tune back into these guys.
Heat works.
Yeah, again, it's always joking about shuttle-derived problems, and it's very similar to the shuttle era, but it is a different material. The shuttle ones were silica-based. This is something called tough rock. And yeah, I guess using what we learned from the past and improving it for the future, and maybe, just maybe, we get a chance to actually see some of the tiles if we get one of those Starlink deploys with a camera on it. We'll get back to that in a moment. Ryan, I think you have more questions.
Yep, one more for the time.
Yeah, there we go. Lovely. Hang on a minute. Let's move him. Oh, Wiggy's on the way from Cardiff. What have you been up to, Wiggy? You've been working, bud? And if you're on the train from Cardiff, are you drinking? Are you having a couple of cans on the way home, bud? Been working hard, hopefully. Oh, it's getting exciting now. Like I say, we're almost an hour away from hopefully launching. Where am I looking at? No, that's fine. As long as you can see me and hear me, but because I don't want to get community noted. like I say, in about 25 minutes now, as soon as SpaceX go live, we'll start to tune into their bits and bobs. Sorry, my camera's about to die, so I'm just going to plug that in a minute. Oh, look out. No, the other way. Oh, what am I doing? Oh no, look at that, the ceiling and the moon. Alright, beer's kicking in now. Strength and honour, people. Strength and honour. Excellent. So yeah, like I say, what I'll do, I will make it big.
If they do the same
like
pad awareness maneuver that they did for pad 1. If they were to do that, then this sort of...
But obviously I don't really want to get, what's the word, community noted or anything like that. Talking of which, yeah, we're going to start the bullshit bingo in a minute. So I'm going to grab a whiteboard and I'm going to start. What are you laughing at, Wiggy? Don't judge me, bud. Yeah, so we're going to grab a whiteboard. I'm going to start writing it. So when the SpaceX launch, as the SpaceX stream starts, we're going to write particular phrases, and every time they say a phrase, I'm going to drink. And I'm going to get my bottle of Pendain as well, because obviously after launch we'll have a little wee dram, as they say. Let's have a look. And I do need a top up as well, boys, from the bar. Boys and girls, boys, ninjas, ninjettes. And then our fella next to me, but there, Sawyer, good as gold, absolute space geek, loves it, knows what he's on about, knows his onions. And to be honest, like this NASA space flight, I watch him, well, as some people know, I watch their live stream for probably about 2 hours a day, because I've got nothing better to do in my life. But all right, when most people are watching bloody EastEnders and I'm a celebrity, get me out of there, I'm watching the live stream of literally these cameras that you're watching now. I just watch this. Now granted, most of the time there's not a big rocket on the launch pad, but it's mostly diggers and cranes. Oh, Jess Garner, welcome, man. Thank you very much for your kind words, Jess. I'd love to think I'm an inspiration, but who am I going to inspire, man? Who am I going to inspire? Just, well, lovely words. Thank you, man. The only inspiration I would like to give is looking cool is more important than looking where you're going. I wish I could take my own words on board. So, if you're just tuning in, we are 1 hour and 7 minutes away, potentially, from a launch of this gigantic rocket over there, Starship. Just out of curiosity, in the bottom, just above the X in SpaceX, that tiny little domed thing, believe it or not, that was actually version 1 of what we're seeing on the pad now. So that thing there is called Starhopper, and that thing only had 1 engine, and at the time there was, there was no such thing as a, what do they call it, a full flow stage combustion engine on rockets. So this thing basically took off, went up 150 meters, went sideways a bit and landed under its own steam, and then it went from there. What I'll hopefully do, if people are actually interested, I'll do a little bit of a Starship development video, and sort of see how things are going. Boy, who's Lewis then, Dan? Who's Lewis, man? So yeah, this we're getting there. We are getting there, people. I think. Oh, legend, Jess. Hang on. Let me see more there. Jess, I haven't seen you skydiving for a while, man. You need to appear at the drop zone one day, buddy. The sky misses you. And, well, I'm glad I inspired you, man, because that's all it takes sometimes, buddy, is a little bit of inspiration. A little bit like my mate Kieran Hoskins. And I'll name him by name because he loves this bit. But, he was just hard work, man, on AFF. And he was dilly-dallying and flustered and all sorts. And I could see that he just needed... Well, what us old-fashioned people would say is he needed a slap around the back of the head and a bit of wising up, like. And one day I gave him a verbal version of it. And, he's the only other person that said I've been inspirational to him, so... I don't think I've had a go at you, Jess, but hopefully it wasn't that kind of inspirational, man. But yeah, safety over stupidity. Safety first, safety second, man. As my hero, Dan Morgan, used to say, safety never takes a day off. Right then. Oh, Lewis Butcher. Lewis, my guy. Long time no see, man. I hope you were doing well as well, Lou. Right. So just listening in, yeah? Oh, we have just pushed it back another 30 minutes, look. Can you even hear me? Yeah, of course you can. I'm not muted. Dumbasses. We'll listen in a minute.
Any sort of indication of what exactly is delaying this mission. We know that at least the weather has improved way better. Like it's dramatically better than earlier in the window. I mean, we started our stakeout stream and it was pouring really, really hard on these things. So this is one of the things that it's usually, it would be great if we got a bit more information here of what exactly is that it's holding them. It appears as if they're sort of keeping tank farms chilled down. We can see there that venting going on there. It's sort of like it's all in a standstill, so to speak, ready to go whenever they are ready to actually proceed with propellant load, and then sort of kick off the next step in this final port.
Yeah, awesome. So basically what they're saying there is something about weather might not be favourable. Like I say, we were 55% favourable for launch tonight. I'm going to stake it out anyway. Hold up. Can everybody hear me okay? And what the hell is this thing doing? Audio input capture device. I don't know. Can you hear me okay? And at the moment, you shouldn't be able to hear anything in the background, like the guys talking. Jess, yes, God's plan, inshallah. Yes, man. I appreciate it, Dan. I don't know what I've done, man, because I say this is obviously my first time doing all this shenanigans. I'm playing with my little bits, and according to me, you should be hearing these fellas talking louder than me, but I don't know. Whatever I've done, it's working. Yeah, well, they got the weather back on, but we'll tune back into the weather now.
There is really nothing at all concerning. I mean, we can look further inland. I'm not seeing any rain popping up. We can look out to the Gulf. I'm not seeing any rain popping up. I mean, at least on the radar, things are looking a little bit better, quite significantly better than they were when we began our stakeout coverage 10 hours before the original planned launch time. I'll also bring up our forecast of the dew point and air temperature again. This is kind of indicating where clouds could be. So this is more for visibility than for launch criteria itself. But if we have a look here in the 9-kilometer range, there's a little bit of cloud that could be popping up, and we're seeing that on our cameras of this cloud, you know, a little bit higher up. So shouldn't be impacting initial launch views, but maybe that's something that our team will have to kind of fingers crossed and dodge around when it comes to the launch itself, because Starship, of course, is going to be going a little bit higher in the sky than 9 kilometers. Fingers crossed, we hope, fingers crossed it's more like 150 kilometers and it makes it all the way to the Indian Ocean. So fingers crossed this cloud doesn't get in the way.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. And we were always talking about with that graphic, oh, don't worry, that's towards the end of the window. That's 90 minutes into the window for that. And yeah, we are now 60 minutes into that 90-minute window. So it's getting closer and closer to those conditions. But at least we have that clear radar compared to this morning when teams were setting up some of those cameras and everything. It looked quite wet and quite miserable. Now, it's interesting with these vents here. I mean, Alex, after the wet dress rehearsal, we saw them going for hours and hours. And then, of course, if you were watching earlier, we saw the tanker trucks lining up pretty much all night, overnight, until just a couple hours ago. Kind of walk us through when we talk about Tank Farm, what exactly we're looking at and what this venting kind of is?
Yeah, we have this very useful overlay from Ryan Kaling himself, and with here to bring us this overlay. So let's start. How about all the way to the right? So the methane reclaim vent that we see there being pointed at, that is part of the system that turns the methane from gas to liquid, because you have that boiling off as you float through pipes and subcoolers and all the things, and you don't want to vent that because it's a hazardous gas, and so you turn it back into a liquid, and that's the vent. In that case, that's venting nitrogen. It's not venting any methane. It's just part of the system that turns that methane gas into methane liquid. Subcooler vents, similar thing, where you have nitrogen being vented off as they subcool, they densify that propellant.
Sorry, I was talking over them then. Yeah, lovely. 5.5, right? I got your 5s also, but, well, only in text. So whatever you're doing this evening, people, fingers crossed we get to see a rocket launch shortly. That would be bloody fantastic. Nice haircut. I don't know how to describe that haircut, Wiggy. I have no idea. Pass. So cheers, everybody. Oh yes. So, of course, Lee. I remember you sending me that video, man. You watched it on the beach, didn't you? What flight was that? Can you remember what flight it was? Was it? I don't know. Booster 4. Ship 20. Sorry. I'm not going to smoke on stream. It's only a rollie, but I'm going to go off stream to smoke. Because smoking's bad for you.
Team set up in the field to bring you views and sounds and everything leading up to Starship's 12th.
We don't want to listen to him. Sawyer, he's talking rubbish, but, or at least hopefully Sawyer, you're giving us some good news. He is giving us an update in the background, but I am listening in. But yeah, that's what he's saying, is they've just pushed the window by about an hour. Starship version 2 Wiggy. Well, so the thing is, this is the first of version 3's. But I would say that was Booster 4 wasn't version 2. So I don't think it was. Yeah, but gotta behave and stuff. So how is the valleys, Wiggy? Do you reckon it'll go? Yeah. What, like, on a scale of, not on a scale. It's just, yes, you reckon it'll go, do you? Well, hopefully I'm not going to get everybody's hopes up, but we can never tell with this sort of thing. SpaceX haven't actually said that they're standing down, but what they have done is they've pushed it back 30 minutes, and now they've pushed it back another 30 minutes. You can see all them big old clouds in the background there, look. Yeah, we were looking at the winds earlier as well, and to be honest, this Windsor we'd be skydiving in 20 knots on the ground, and then it just increased slightly going up. What do they call it? The areola effect. So the areola effect is it's where in the northern hemisphere, as you go up in altitude, the prevailing winds swing more clockwise, and in the southern hemisphere, as you go more south, the prevailing winds swing more anti-clockwise. That's called the areola effect. If anybody wants to correct me in the chat, areola, like. But yeah, on the chat here, all signs are leading to a good launch. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's it. I wonder how many skydivers out there. No, that's not weather. That's not weather. They're just talking about where, if it's going to disintegrate upon re-entry, this is apparently going to be the corridor of water that it's going to splash down on. We're listening.
The splashdown site in the Indian Ocean, and that we believe was actually a simulation of the trajectory they would fly when returning to Starbase for the tower catch. Because of course, if you've seen the animation, SpaceX's animation shows the ship coming in from the north and landing, coming over the tower and landing in the chopsticks in the tower. So they have to do this kind of banked trajectory, as you can see, heading up towards the north, then turning around and coming back down south in order to hit that tower catch. And that's a very interesting thing. This is, of course, a bit more of a different...
Yeah, how mad is that? So that's what you're saying there now. That's why it looks like a little bit of a hook. Is because it's basically going to be doing like essentially like a downwind and a crosswind leg for all you canopy pilots out there. Because obviously when they do start landing these and catching them with the chopsticks back on the launch pad, they can't just come straight in like on a ballistic trajectory, because if anything goes wrong, you're going to demolish 6 years worth of construction, you know. So it's going to come in at an angle and then come crosswind, light up. The awesome... Oh... Oh, Wiggy. Yeah, it is a shocking haircut. I don't know what he was thinking. However, love him. It depends on which way he's facing, you know. Sorry, well, it's okay, he's disappearing now. And there we go. There's a bit of full screen. There's the two towers for you. So on the right is Tower 1. That's the one which is basically being refurbished at the moment. Because 10 minutes ago when I was saying about the upside down shower head, the flame suppression system and all the rest of it, well, that's being built on pad 1 at the moment now. So they've had to dig and put piles down. And they're now building the flame bucket or the flame trench. Whereas this pad 2 now, what we're looking at on the screen now, this is going to be the first flight from pad 2. So what they've done is they've worked out the flaws with pad 1 and they've upgraded to pad 2. It's fantastic. Right. Let's have a look. And there you go. For somebody asking in the chat earlier on about how much force is used and what have you, there are over 200 tons of thrust per engine. And bear in mind, in the booster, there's 33 of these engines. So you do the maths. I'm not going to do the maths. I've had 4 beers. Oh, Reese Easton, staying quiet. Drop in the chat, Reese boy. North Star, buddy. How you doing? So I got my KFC. I got my gravy as well. I'm gonna drink my gravy too. But I'm gonna do that off camera because nobody wants to watch me drink gravy.
Where like whatever records you might think about of how big, how powerful, how heavy, all of those go to this rocket because it is the tallest Starship rocket to ever fly of all of the configurations. It is the heaviest, the most powerful. I mean, whatever way you put it, it's breaking all sorts of records today if it launches, which we want to launch.
Yeah, what this guy said. Yeah, breaking all kinds of laws. Mickey, man, how are you doing, bud? Welcome to the evening. What's that? What happens if they miss? What's that, Wiggy? When they trying to land a starship? So the reason they're going to come in offset. Well, it's easy if I do it vertically, but imagine this is going to be on a horizontal thing. Hang on, you can't even see me. Here we go. Oh, I can see me now. So yeah, there we go. So instead of coming, oh my god, how do I do this? Where's the, there's the camera, right. So this would be horizontal, so we're going to put it vertical. So they're going to come, if that's the landing area, they're going to come down the side, turn, and then land. If they came directly in, that's when they're going to have problems. And it was a really bad visual, but do you get that? So they're going to come in from the side, then turn left, or turn right rather, from that's almost not 90 degrees, but almost 90 degrees. So that if they are going to miss, if the engine's going to fail, they can just avoid it and then smash in the sea and watch a nice explosion. A rapid, unscheduled disassembly. Dan, where are they sending it? Well, the booster, or Super Heavy, is going to splash down just off the coast. They've already proven they can catch them, which was mental. If you haven't seen them catch them, have a look on YouTube. It's mental. So they've already proven they can catch it, but because now this is, again, a version 3, so this is the first time this version has started to fly. They've made loads of upgrades, so rather than risking it not working now and trying to catch it again, they're going to do a soft landing as if there's like an invisible set of chopsticks out in the sea, just off the coast. That's going to splash down there, and the ship is going to basically almost get into a complete orbit, just as ever so slightly suborbital plane. And then about 50 minutes later, that's going to come back in then. So it's going to go from Texas to basically Australia in about 50 minutes. There you are. That was probably the long way around saying that one. They're just talking about what the payload is going to be now. So they've got a couple of dummy Starlink satellites, and I think they've got a couple of proper new Starlinks on there. What I'll do, just because I'm going to munch my burger now, which is going to take about 45 seconds, I'll tune you back into these guys. You can have a listen to these talking about the payload, and I am here, but I will be straight back in about 45 seconds, team. If you're not, grab a beer.
Exactly how heavy those are, I wouldn't venture to say whether it's 44 tons. There's multiple different numbers out there. Some people take, for example, a 2 metric ton number from a certain documentation from a Federal Communications Commission permit, where it talks about whether it's like a study about the deorbiting of these satellites, but then it says we're just establishing it that it is 2 metric tons. It might not be 2 metric tons. Then for the old version 2 satellites that are also sort of the same size, Elon said at one point that it was about 1.25 tons basically in mass. So anywhere in between 1.25 and 22 tons, and 2 tons, you get, I think it's like between 30 and 44 metric tons for the full 22 satellites that are riding on this vehicle. And so that is definitely not the limit. They can load, at least from a volume standpoint, up to 60 of those on the PES dispenser. We've seen the stacks and everything on the renders and everything, but also the pest dispensers themselves. You can see them when they roll them out, and you can see the slots and all that. Apart from that, SpaceX has also confirmed already that.
Happening. Dude, look at that. I just caught in the mirror over there. Not the mirror, on the screen. My bloody beard is going grey and everything. Must be paint. So, Wiggy, so if all the fuel is burnt and it lands, would it be like an A-bomb, as it's mostly hydrogen? Well, not really, because the two elements this is fueled with is oxygen and methane. So there's not actually any hydrogen on there. But don't get me wrong, like you need, so you got two types of these fuels. You've got what they call hypergolics, which are two elements that as soon as they interact, they're going to ignite. And that's your old school type rockets, like your shuttles and your things like that, and Artemis as well, like that SLS thing. Whereas this lot, let's say, is you need an ignition source. So you've got methane and oxygen. So obviously your oxygen is the oxidizer, same as anything, same as on your car with your carburetor, you've got your fuel and your oxygen. Well, the fuel in this is methane. So as long as there's an ignition source and they mix, yeah, it'll go like a bomb, but not quite like something like an atom bomb. It'll just be quite an exciting explosion, which is another reason why they're not going to try and land these back on the launch pad, because again, this is a version 3 prototype, so they want to make sure everything works beforehand. Nice question, though, Wig. Something I can almost answer, like, properly. Let's have a look. Mickey, right, so at the moment, Mickey, we are looking at, we're about an hour away, man. So, well, an hour, over at least an hour and a quarter, Mick. So it could be a late night. They might not even launch. Hang on, let me just make sure my audio is all sorted. Yeah, they might not even launch tonight, man. Again, it's a test flight, and what they'll probably do is, if they don't launch tonight, they're going to use this as like a wet dress rehearsal. So the actual estimated launch time at the moment is midnight. No, why are you asking me to do maths, man? 17, 23, 13, past midnight, so 12, but right. Just gonna finish me burger. Stand by.
Where it's that connection in between the Stromac and the line that actually hits the sort of interface with the second stage of Falcon 9. Very similarly here, it seems like the lines that go to the ship are split between, you know, all of the things that go underground and up the tower, and then you go to the quick disconnect arm, and then there's like a valve that stops that flow, and then you have another stretch of that pipe that goes all the way through the quick disconnect arm out to the ship. And so it seems like it is that little bit of that line that goes up to the ship that is now, at least I see it frosted. I don't know if it might be the illumination or something like that. I do not see the same on the methane side of things. It seems like that is still being held at ambient temperature, but we may see that being kicked in once they are much more ready to go into this propellant load sequence. Again, we are at least 21 minutes away from that go no go pull sequence, and it might be a little bit more until we actually get that propellant load sequence with liquid oxygen load starting on the ship at T-minus 38 minutes and 53 seconds. So still a while.
Still a little while to go, but one thing I've noticed with rocket launches, as someone who typically covers them both here online and doing the field coverage for NSF for some of the launches, The final hour goes by so ridiculously fast, it doesn't feel like time is real at that point. When you are in the moment and everything locked in, especially once you get that go for prop load, time just flies. So hopefully we get to that point, and once we do, I promise you, chat, you'll be looking at the clock going, wait a minute, I thought it was just an hour to go. Now it's a half hour to go. Now it's 10 minutes to go. Now they're ready. So hopefully we will see that coming up very soon. Also, I love this view, being able to look up at the Starship.
Awesome. Typical. So I just blinked in and moved to the wrong one again. But no, that's all they're saying now. So we're going to have a no-go poll, or a go or no-go poll, in 20 minutes and 21 seconds. So we're just literally hanging out waiting for that now. Oh yeah, we're going to make a massive bang, man. A huge bang. Again, when I get my setup a little bit better, I'll be able to load them in and show you, like, but sorry, I was just listening in. I thought there was an update for us. Yeah, that's a fair shout there, as Wiggy. But of course, don't forget it uses its engines to land propulsively. It's a propulsive landing, and of course that's flames. So if you've got any sort of fuel leaks, stand by. Going to tune in a minute.
Afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Rocket Ranch Outpost, which is also known as a front row seat to launch pad 2, or just pad 2, I guess, in this case, for Starbase. Still getting acclimated from the Space Coast of Florida. But we are here with a bunch of people who have come out today to watch this first launch attempt for Flight 12 on this, what turned out to be a beautiful afternoon. We were a bit concerned with the weather this morning.
Right, his audio's a bit crap. But he's in a place called Rocket Ranch, and it's the closest place you can watch from public. Fair play, I've managed to smash my KFC while I've been here. There's the rest of it. I'm just going to flick off camera to munch this, and I'll be back.
All the views that we possibly can. This is going to be a good one, and hopefully the weather cooperates and the countdown continues as planned towards 6:30 and no more delays. But back to you guys in the studio, and go Starship.
Thank you. Max Evans out at Rocket Ranch. You could see all the people behind him, and with all the excitement behind him, I know the microphone's like, wait, I want to jump into this. So, yeah, a little jumpy there, but great to see Max, and excited to see the views that he gets from there. As you can see, it's a pretty clear shot over to the pad from there. It's a good view, and it helps also now having that bi-directional flame diverter. So if you've seen any of the launches in the past from Starship, it becomes very difficult to see the rocket as soon as those engines ignite, because there was no real place for that exhaust to go except up and around the vehicle. Now having the new flame diverter is a huge improvement. In fact, that's one of many improvements to what Elon and SpaceX in the past have called Stage 0. And by that, we mean all of the ground support.
Yeah, that's awesome there. So, sorry to interrupt him, but you can see the two towers. You can see the Liebner LR1100 crane on the right-hand side, lying down. Hang on, let's make it bigger. Oh, no, it's me again. So you got pad 1 on the right, pad 2 on the left, and you can see this big old sort of thing that the rocket is sitting on, a bi-directional flame diverter. Happy days, people. chair up a little bit just to get me merch on display. Look at that. Yeah, see, these guys have got merch. You can go buy a t-shirt off them, nasaspaceflight.com. Right, 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes we'll get the go or no-go poll. But like I said, they've pushed it back half hour at a time so far. The clouds have sort of disappeared, which is great. I will see how we get on. Oh, nice question, Jess. So Jess is asking, what's the bigger mission? Is these test flights are preparing for? Is it Mars? Well, up until the beginning of this year, that's exactly what it was about. It was meant to be about making life interplanetary. And Elon Musk had this big idea about being able to send these things to Mars, like I say, with up to 100 people on them, and etc., etc., etc. Then, to lightly bring politics into it, then when Trump won the election and pumped all this money into spaceflight, to try and speed up this Artemis program to get people back to the moon, Elon Musk he's had to sort of readjust, and he's now saying yes, the moon is a stepping stone to Mars. So they're planning on building basically the ISS but on the moon, and then that will be basically a lunar gateway towards the rest of the stars. But that's just one side of it. First and foremost, it's going to be deploying new Starlink satellites. But other than that, just the way to think about it is, up until now, you can get, I don't know, realistically, 9 to 15 tons into orbit, which obviously means it's going to be extremely expensive per kilogram, especially if you're throwing most of the rocket away after you launch it, or if it spends a long time being refurbished. So this thing being fully reusable, it's going to bring the cost to orbit. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because these guys are chatting in my ear. It'll bring the cost to orbit down significantly. So that means then that a lot of these people who can't actually get into the space industry to start doing their own commercial space stations and just space stuff, even collecting space junk, new satellites, you name it. It'll be good for it, but they'll be able to carry about 200 tons to low Earth orbit. So that's orders of magnitude more than what the current heavy lift vehicles are. I hope that answers your question, man. Yeah, my wife watches some of these, waiting to see which one will be able to take her home. Well, Tink, one day, I'd love to say maybe in the next 5 years, you might be able to buy a ticket. So it might not be coming to collect. You might have to buy your ticket, but at least you can go home, live long and prosper and all the rest of that jazz. Right? Yeah, maybe not a couple of decades, Jess. Maybe. So this is these things are so big now, and if you think about it, once this gets and lands on the moon, there's going to be all of this unused space, and it's made of stainless steel, which is quite durable. So what they're on about doing is putting these inflatables on the surface of the moon, giant inflatables, and then just tipping the rocket over, and you can build a base off that, and So what a time to be alive, man! What a time to be alive. The best, like. You can swear as well, though, Jess. You don't have to have stars, man. Probably another 1.5 beers, and I'll be starting to swear now, man. Yeah, let's just have a listen into the boys again for a minute, because I'm going to go quiet for a second.
But it goes up and then it floats away. And so that's why nowadays you may see the tank farm and you might think, wow, that's a lot more active than I saw when Pad 1 was going on and things like that. That's because the Pad 1 tank farm used to be, again, this sort of carpet on the ground sort of thing. It was more, how to say this, more lazy, if you will.
See what you did there, Wiggy. Happy on Earth, better atmosphere. But
that was very iconic, very fun, and very enjoying. For example, when they did the first catch on Flight 5, and the booster came back, the boom of the sonic boom of that vehicle literally blew away all of that carpet of condensation that had remained on the pan after liftoff. It is nice, but it can become hazardous when you have a lot of nitrogen concentrations. It is true that nitrogen makes up 70% or something, 78, I think, of our air. But you don't want it to make up the 100% of our air, because then you don't have oxygen, and that is not great. And so that is one of the benefits, for example, of blowing these things with that upwards vent.
And here we go. I've been talking to you and everything. Look, I'm turning the wrong stuff down. Yeah, Josh. Oh, Josh, stop my beer, Josh. Jess. You can get my chat banned if you want, buddy. You can say what you want. I don't think you're going to overstep the mark, because I know I'm not the most politically correct of people myself. And if you come here for political correctness, you're in the wrong place, but I know you haven't.
Seem like we may closer now to that.
So yeah, still haven't heard anything off SpaceX for now. We're about 9 minutes away from this poll of whether they're going to launch or not. So let's hang on tight, people. It looks bigger on the TV, but it's not that big. Only 30 foot. What's only 30 foot, Wiggy? No, this rocket's something like bloody about 300 foot, rather, unless that's a typo, is it? So just listening in. Oh, so we're looking at. So what we're looking at here. I'll put this on, bro. I'll keep on talking.
Back to you in a few minutes. Once again,
oh, no.
Bear with me, and fingers crossed he's closer to Brownsville Airport. We'll be able to put him on screen.
There. And they've obviously got they've got aircraft making sure the range is clear and things like that, making sure there's no boats, aircrafts, people on the beach and stuff like that. So what all these guys are doing is they basically staking out, and they're keeping an eye on all this stuff taking off. So they're giving us a good indication of whether they're going to launch or not. Hopefully in 7 minutes we'll have this poll, go or no go. Sorry, I'm listening to these guys.
As well, have it land on the moon a year later. Man, this is so cool. But yeah.
They were just talking about the moon landing. Earth's flat. You've had a bump on the head, you have sunshine. The Earth is flat, my bumhole. Okay. Oh, maybe we should put a poll down the bottom. Is the Earth flat or is the Earth not flat? Tell me your IQ without telling me your IQ. Happy days. Right, 56 minutes. So I'm gonna go for a top up on my beer. I'm gonna have another pee. I'm gonna make a rollie, and hopefully by the time I'm back, then wait. Oh. So if you can see on the screen now,
for the official confirmation, but that is a really good sign.
Yeah, there's a lot
This is
of white.
some of the last few
steam. I can't
things that
what
we
it is.
should
Smoke.
expect.
It's not even smoke.
It's almost like you know
This
what you're
is a good
talking
sign.
about, Alex.
What this means is
Yeah,
I'm starting to
I was
chill
actually
down all
pointing
these
about
pipes
this.
properly.
I don't know the timings
to
because it's a new
hopefully-
pad, so that
hopefully
was the only
start
thing that
fueling.
was a little bit off. I said maybe after the poll
This
actually
is exciting.
concludes,
Show me
but
proof.
this is before that T-minus 50
This
minutes
is the
point,
problem. Wiggy.
and it has
You've,
already
you've
started.
read the Bible
When
and
that
you've read about
disappears,
Doubting
usually that
Thomas
means then
and
that
all the rest
liquid
of it.
oxygen load
Have you
has
heard of
begun
physics?
on the ship.
Physics
There you
works,
can see
man.
it's getting, it's growing. Yeah, I think that is
like-
the actual
Oh, I'm trying to think what I
final
did the other day.
vent of that tower before we go into propellant.
I wanted to throw
So that's a
something,
really
right?
good sign.
And I wanted to throw it. To
That's a
see how-
great sign. And
how
again, we
high I
should be
threw it.
about 5
But
minutes
all I could
from that
work
go
out
no go
was
poll for
how
propellant
long it
load.
was in the
And
air
of course,
for.
while we see the
So
kind of
I threw
venting
it
in the
in the
clouds
air for
coming
4
from the
seconds.
tower there, you notice what's behind that
No.
rocket? That
I'm not
looks
gonna
like
lie
pretty
to you,
clear
I
blue
did
skies
use,
to me.
Grok to educate
I
me
mean,
on
the
this,
weather
but,
looks dramatically better
can
from what
use
we saw
physics to
earlier
work
this
out that
morning and throughout the
gravity is
day,
actually a thing.
and it's been clearing up as the day has been going on. And that is what
I'd
we like
love
to see,
believe the
this
Earth was
beautiful
flat and then
weather.
we'd
Of
be
course,
back to, but-
we're not the official SpaceX weather officers that they
people are
have
saying,
there,
oh,
but
the
just from the
firmament and
Mark 1
stuff like that.
eyeballs
Come
and
on
just
now,
from the
people.
Mark 1 cameras
Sit
that we
tight.
have out
Sit
there,
tight for another hour
the
or so,
views
and we'll
look
see. We'll see.
beautiful, and that's what we like to
If
see,
you
clear
think the Earth
skies.
is flat,
So
there's
hopefully
a-
we
or
get
there used
great
to be
views
another
of the
documentary
rocket
on
all the way
Netflix called
uphill.
Beyond the Curve. And
This is so exciting,
Like,
folks. Again,
did
I'm going to have to keep
experiments,
checking my heart
like-
rate. It's just
like
going to
we're
keep
gonna-
going up
we're gonna have
the
a-
closer we
a
get
piece
to
of
all of
cardboard
this.
with a
Chat,
hole
how's,
in it,
what are
and
your
we're
heart
gonna
rates
go
at yet? Is it
500
starting to pick
meters
up yet,
away,
or is it just
and we're
me?
going to shine a laser at it, and because of obviously
There you
the
can see
flat
the,
Earth, it'll
the
shine
base
straight
of,
through
as we were talking about
through the
earlier,
hole.
stage 0 there.
And what they
There's a
found
look up
was that the
at some of
laser
that
was above
venting
the
and the
hole.
ship. Again, cycling
So
through
it
all
kind
of the different cameras that we have here,
suggests
those
that
blue skies
the floor
above,
wasn't
that
flat. No, you know,
is
there's obviously
picture
all these other
perfect
things that-
launch
it could have been on a
weather.
hill, it could have
As
been
someone
on a
who has
hill or
seen
something,
launches in
but-
person, that looks pretty good.
And the bottom line is, if you think
I mean,
The middle-
when I woke up and I saw the weather radar and I saw the grim grey skies, I mean, our field team, I'm not in the field. The field team were drenched. They were getting rained on. They were setting up cameras. It was, I'm sure it was miserable for them. But I'm very happy that the weather has turned out in our favour for the launch
That's all I'm
window.
gonna say to that.
Fingers crossed, 53 minutes is when it will happen.
Exactly. Again, they had originally said going into today that the weather was 55% favorable. They have not
think,
given an
our
updated
optimism will
official
pay off
weather
now.
forecast percentage, but I
Oh, sorry,
think
I'm still here, by the way. Sorry, I'm still here. I've been chatting all the way in the background. So what they're saying in the background there is the issues seem to be the upper level winds. And what they're saying is it's apparently a wind shear. Yeah. So winds at all the way up to sort of 45,000 feet are doing this way. Above 45,000 feet is 180 degrees. So you don't want to upset the structural integrity of your stainless steel majestic dildo. So, oh, hang on a minute. Ah, so that aircraft he just pointed out there, Ghost 11. What he's saying there is it's an aircraft that's registered to the administrator of the of NASA, Jared Isaacman. He's an absolute badass. So it sounds like that's a VIP flight somewhere. Probably just cruising about 385 knots, 13,500 feet. Apart from the run-in speed, I mean, that's nice enough to go skydiving from. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if they are going to do a flyby. Yeah. Oh, you tell us about, and this is the thing. So Wiggy's just dropped in the chat there about obviously they keep pumping gas for over capacity because of the heat loss. Obviously that's minus 270 degrees, and the ambient temperature there in Texas is, well, I don't actually know off the top of my head, but what's the ambient temperature in Texas at this time of the year in Brownsville, Wiggy? And yeah, he's saying about the UK Space Force. But to be honest, man, it's not just the UK Space Force. Is at least Jeff Bezos is catching up with his Amazon stuff. What they call it, Blue Origin, and stuff. Oh, 40, so minus 270 degrees in 40 degrees. So they're going to have lots of boil off, eh? And you'll see when they do start fueling the vehicle, you'll see on this lovely stainless steel all the white ice coming up. Right, give me a sec. Right then, so we are now into the 50 minutes. Okay, so in the background we have go for propellant load. So what that means is they're going to now start to, like Wiggy's saying, you called it, man, you're going to start to put this cryogenic fuel onto the spacecraft. Takes about 35 minutes or 90 minutes, maybe like an hour, 35 minutes even. Happy days. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab another beer, I'm going to grab a pee, I'll give you some full screen of this and you can listen to the boys for 5 minutes. I say the boys as if I know them, they're not, I don't know them, I'm just hijacking their stream. So, yeah, ambient temperature in Texas is warm as fuck, yeah. Legend. Right.
So that should happen at T minus 38 minutes and 53 seconds. About 4 minutes later, at T minutes, the booster liquid oxygen tank will start getting loaded. Then about 17 seconds later, at T minus 34 minutes and 43 seconds, the booster fuel load will start. That is the methane tank there on the top. And then at T minus 32 minutes and 59 seconds, so about 2 minutes or so after that previous step in the countdown, there will be the final tank to be start loading, which will be the ship main liquid methane tank, which will start that loading. Of course, later down in the countdown, we'll also have the loading of the methane and liquid oxygen tanks for the ship headers. But other than that, man, that's the greatest indication that we always get, that we are to see this full stack getting frosty and ready to launch.
Hey, guess what? We're 48 minutes from launch. It has been about 7 months since we have seen a Starship launch, at least intentionally, off of a pad here in Starbase. It is getting real. We are under an hour away, under 50 minutes away. Prop load set to begin in just a little bit. It makes it more real when you hear it like that. 7 months we've been waiting for this. How many years have we been talking about, oh, pad 2 under construction. Oh, look, we're now seeing them start to do parts of the flame diverter, parts of the tower going up. No, it's up. It's operational. It's ready. They are about to start loading propellant into a Starship that is ready to launch from a brand new pad, a brand new variant that, if all goes well, the vehicle that you are seeing on your screen right now will be the future of Starship for the foreseeable future here with V3. I guess the question then is,
Here's ignition. We almost off.
We have 33 healthy Raptor engines.
Restriction cut off.
And hot staging, look at that. Wow.
Fly, baby, fly.
Let's go! The booster is no go for a catch.
I'm very hyped. Are you hyped? I hope you're hyped in chat. Sawyer, are you hyped?
I am beyond hyped from that. You could tell I was hyped beforehand, but yeah, the hype is even more real now.
Alex, I have to be honest. I'm in a little bit of disbelief. We're 45 minutes away from the launch of Starship V3. If you told me this yesterday, after we had that not so wet dress rehearsal, I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. We're here now, 45 minutes away from launch. It's bonkers.
And to add to the commentary, joining us for this terminal count and through the rest of flight, we have Alice joining us for the rest of the stream. How you doing, Alice? You looking forward to Starship V3? Finally? Not hearing you at the moment. Maybe that's technical.
How
there
about
we
this?
go.
Can you hear me? That's a bit better. Sorry, I was so excited I'd muted myself. Little squeals. I was watching the stream earlier thinking I wasn't going to be able to make it on screen. I was honestly thinking it was, we don't want to say the S word, but you know, I was thinking it wasn't going to go to plan. Things were delaying, but it's looking like we're actually going to see a launch. How exciting. Just less than 45 minutes away from seeing it go up. Ooh, I can definitely feel the excitement.
Absolutely. And we have VIPs arriving on site as well. We're going through the final minutes of the countdown now. This is when things start to get real as SpaceX is go for propellant load. Alex is, of course, going to be giving us the technical updates, going to be relaying anything, new information that we get from SpaceX. Fingers crossed that we get plenty of details. Sawyer, I don't know if there's anything in particular that you're most excited to see from SpaceX personally. We're all begging for HLS updates.
Yes, team. Right, I am back. Funeral for a friend. Oh, Wiggy. One day, Wig, we'll pop out to Texas. If you can get a job out there again, but I'll come work out there with you for a bit. This is exciting. Give me 1 second. Oh, look out. So we've got you. Hang on, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Young Travis, look. Travis Barker, boy. Oh, what are you up to, boy? All good? Ah, see. Got my buddy. I don't even know where I'm going yet. How's this? Ah, good for me. Sweet. So yeah, we can't really see much at the moment now, but we can definitely see there's plenty more activity. This is exciting. I'm proper keeping an eye on SpaceX's Twitter. So next up, we're looking now for T-minus 38 minutes 53 seconds. At that point, the ship will start to load its liquid oxygen. So at the moment, all of this condensation is obviously what we can see in the way, getting amongst it. Let's stick them up on full screen for a bit. Look at that. Get a full screen of that. You can see all of that overspill now from the fuel pipes. Oh, right. There's my idea. Yeah, so that's a good point. 40 minutes will come and go quicker than we can understand now. Right, let me just make sure. Aha. So what I'm going to do, when they actually launch, I'm going to put this one on, and I'll make myself smaller. To be honest, I'm surprised anybody tuned in, so thank you very much for tuning in, people. Oh, look out. Look out. Oh no, go away, go away. Go away. Let's have a look. Oh, get in. Right then, SpaceX is live. So, what I'm going to do... Uh-oh. Oh, sorry. I tuned in there because they said they had some news, and it wasn't very good news. And it was nothing to do with the launch, so that's all good. So far, so far, standeth by, man. We're going to tune into SpaceX now. So bear with me. Here we go. We're going to mute this guy. Hey, come on now. What are you playing at? SpaceX is live. Awesome. Now we are talking, people. Let's just tune in for a second to our man Tom here and see what he's got to say for a sec.
Brand new. New booster, new ship, new engines, new pad. Let's nerd out. Let's dive right into it. So there it is on the pad. Say hello to Starship version 3. As Kate noted, some of the outside might look familiar, but we've made extensive upgrades across every single system. Start with the big picture because Starship still very, very big. Just over 407 feet tall, fully stacked, a little bit taller than version 2. With that extra stretch, we can carry even more propellant, but big rocket. The bottom half is our super heavy booster, and there are some pretty visible structural changes on the outside. We'll jump in. You've got version 3 on the left there, version 2 on the right. At the very top, we've changed from a one-time use hot stage adapter that used to pop off to one that's fully integrated for reusability. And Starship's Raptors are actually going to be igniting directly on top of the booster's fuel tank. The fuel tank pressure itself and then a non-structural layer of steel, it's what's protecting the top of that booster when we do hot stage separation. Moving down a little bit, we went from 4 grid fins to 3. We made them 50% bigger and higher strength. Just a reminder, that's what booster is using to kind of steer itself as it's flying back for a catch. We're also now going to use those grid fins for lift and catch itself. We zoom in a little bit and you can see new catch points now on those grid fin structures. Moving inside the rocket, we redesigned the fuel transfer tube. This is the really big tube inside the rocket that's moving all of that liquid methane down to the Super Heavy's 33 Raptor engines. It's going to help us flip faster, and we can now start up all of the engines simultaneously. This thing is big. It's about the size of a Falcon 9 first stage, which gives us the fun realization that we kind of put a rocket.
Yeah, that was mental, but the internal fuel pipe in this booster is the size, the same diameter as the entire Falcon 9 rocket. That's mental. Right. let's get back to these guys.
Stage. This version of Starship is designed to carry massive orbital payloads. We're talking up to 100 metric tons to Earth orbit, the Moon, and Mars. The biggest changes are pretty much all under the hood. We gave the propulsion system a clean sheet redesign, increased the propellant tank volume, and improved our reaction control system, our steering while we're on orbit. When we X-ray inside, the PEZ dispenser is now supercharged, a little bit of turbo, and that's going to allow us to increase the deploy speed for each of those satellites. Today, we're actually flying the heaviest payload we've ever carried on Starship, but eventually we're going to launch with up to 60 of those Starlink V3 satellites. Just below that, just below the payload bay and also down on the aft part of the ship, we've added new docking ports. That's going to enable us to link up in orbit between two starships, do propellant transfer. We also modified that main connection point where we load propellants into the vehicle for those future prop transfer missions. So a lot of upgrades tip to tail on the rocket, but powering...
So coming up on 35 minutes before launch. Wow, that's loud. Have a listen to this.
There they are, ripping in real time. These engines manufactured in Hawthorne, California, tested at our site up in McGregor.
Oh man, that's awesome. So there are 2 seconds, 1 second to go. So now we will be starting to put some propellant onto the booster. So some liquid oxygen on the booster. Game on. So yeah, that's one of the best things about SpaceX is the best part is no part. Oh yes, right then, team. So we're getting close. I'm trying to let's have a look. I'm trying to see what sort of lag we've got, because I think we've definitely got some lag here. Yeah, so I'm about 16 seconds ahead of you guys.
Static fire vehicle is in pre-pad clear, about to get to our static fire pad clear top state.
We run 60 seconds on ship because you get to see how the vehicle thermals all shake out and just general vehicle performance.
That if you can make it through that you're in a reasonable position to go fly.
Start up. Throttle up.
So that's all bits of ice, that is, but it's all bits of
The
ice.
journey of SpaceX is a journey to give humans access to the solar system and beyond, which is really the goal for Starship.
Plus 20.
The impact that this rocket is going to have on the world, I don't think most people can really comprehend the change that's going to happen.
Plus 30, sir.
This is such a wild ride. The highs are high, the lows are low as we really work to get to ultimately launching people, which is going to be amazing.
Plus 40.
It is not impossible just because it's far beyond what has been done before. We've proved that time and time again.
That guy looks like Jonathan Davis, who was the lead singer of Korn.
Full duration.
Oh man, like Dan said, we've got the world's best engineering team, and I love this docu-series because it's allowing us to get a peek behind the curtains.
Yeah, the full thing is 25 minutes long, and I think I've watched it 4 or 5 times already. That's how good it is.
Same.
But yeah, so
look at these SpaceX geeks. They love it, and I love them. Yeah, it is wild how they add all these features and upgrades, and they spend millions on development and implementation, knowing that they're going to blow it up over the ocean. Yeah, true, man. But that's what test, iterate, redesign, go again. It's just all about, man, innit? And to think, like one of these launches. Oh, thank you, man. Right, thank you, Digi. Appreciate the feedback, man. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, so look. Right, my volume should be a bit better now. And then let's just try that. But let me know if I'm good, man. Right, I'll fade him in a little bit. Should be about the same as me now.
But it's also smarter. We've separated the fuel and NOx systems into different compartments and repositioned the booster quick disconnects to be out of the vehicle's plume during liftoff.
Yeah,
let me know, man. So you can see the footprint as well of where they're expanding the launch pad. And in the bottom left there, oh, it's gone. Where it said the gateway to Mars. "30 minutes ago, people." Right. Let's have a little listening about Starlink.
And we have a crowd forming outside of Mission Control ready to see some Starships fly today. And like Jake mentioned earlier, on today's flight, we're deploying 20 Starlink simulators, plus 2 modified Starlink satellites, which our team internally refers to as Dodger Dogs, because we stretch that V2 mini satellite propellant tank so that it sticks out from both ends of the satellite. You can see it right there. It is just missing some mustard and onions. So the Dodger Dog serves as a tech demo between the V2 and the V3 Starlink satellites and will act as a platform for testing those V3 components. So the larger V3 satellites aim to greatly expand the network's capacity, while V3 hardware is designed to support faster Wi-Fi and improved broadband speeds to customers while providing a significant capacity upgrade from the V2 Mini. And in addition to delivering future V3 satellites to the Starlink network, we believe Starship will enable us to launch our AI satellites. As you may have seen during the TerraFab event in Austin a few months ago, Elon laid out the path to revolutionize cloud computing and AI infrastructure, leveraging the unlimited power of the sun, targeting 100 gigawatts to 1 terawatt of AI computing power annually. And from there, we're looking at connectivity beyond our planet too.
Awesome. Yeah, so chatting a bit about Starlink and what have you. Hopefully version 2 Starlink or version 3 will sorry, let me distract you a second. Sorry, I stopped talking because I thought you were listening to that lady talking. So give me a second, I'll fade her back in. See what I mean? Annoyingly, I had to sell my audio interface, which was ridiculous because I got all these cracking lovely. Look at this. Got all these. Oh my god, there's stuff everywhere. I got these lovely microphones and stuff. Look. On the old stuff to do stuff with it, and I don't know, I'm quite drunk now. Yeah, so I had to sell my audio interface because it's FireWire, and apparently Apple have stopped supporting FireWire, so not happy with Apple, not happily.
So much bigger, so many dimensions that are much beyond what we can comprehend. But even though it's big, there still is a potential that these satellites could collide and could hit each other if we don't proactively share information.
The orbit of objects follow Kepler's laws of motion, explained by Newton's laws of gravitation. So they orbit the Earth in very predictable trajectories as long as another force doesn't act on them. So you can reasonably fit millions of satellites into an orbital shell with that math. Obviously, to make that happen, you have to have really tight coordination between all those satellites, and everything has to work really well together. Starlink satellites make something like 1,000 collision avoidance maneuvers on a daily basis. We predict that a close approach will occur between another satellite or a piece of space debris. We use the thruster of the satellite to make a maneuver and keep away from the trajectory of that object and reduce the probability of collision to effectively zero. Because most of the actual collision risk comes from the surface area of the solar panels, we lower the solar panels to reduce the cross-section.
We're not gonna get started on the Android Apple scenario, man. Sorry.
You can imagine 10,000 satellites staring up into space and detecting all the objects in low Earth orbit. You effectively almost have a real-time view of what's happening in the low Earth orbit environment. So we began detecting objects and fitting orbits to those objects, and currently we're tracking about 50% of the objects with perigees below 600 kilometers. This project has opened our eyes a bit to the activities that are occurring in space that are not being published. So we have many examples in Starlink satellite footage where an object came within tens of meters of a Starlink satellite, yet this was not predicted. This is extremely concerning because this type of incident could have resulted in a collision.
Last year, we flew 165 missions to space. As an industry leader, we would like to create a community where all industry providers share data back and forth. They tell us where their spacecraft are. They track their spacecraft as soon as they're deployed. They make them available to others so we know where everyone is. You know, there's some thought that if I keep my satellite position confidential and I don't share that with anyone, no one will know where my satellite is. Well, I think that's really fictitious. So we at SpaceX, we've taken the opposite approach. We've published all our data, we put all our ephemeris data out, we show where our satellites are, we show where we're maneuvering, and I think we're now showing the industry that there is no competitive advantage by not sharing your data. We're demonstrating to the outside world what good practices are. We as an industry have a tremendous obligation at this time, at this formative state, to actually communicate with each other, share best practices, and be good stewards amongst each other. It'll make us better as an industry. It'll give us an industry of the future that will continue to grow.
Do you know what? This fella, I can't remember his name, but he feels like my granddad, like. And I just want to believe him. I just want to believe him. We can get to the stars, people.
I think that an irresponsible satellite operator is one who either doesn't know where their spacecraft is or where it's going to go, or isn't broadcasting that to the world. Space is big, but operators are not always predictable. We want to enable other missions, the Moon and Mars and interplanetary exploration. So ensuring that activities like that can persist for the duration of humanity is incredibly important. You know, fundamentally, I think the message to operators is to be transparent about what you're doing in space, you know, transparent about where your satellite is and where it's going, and make sure you have the tools to ensure that that information is accurate all the time.
Interesting. Agreed, did she? Oh.
Higher launch vehicle. In light of this, we want to keep our learning focused on all that new hardware.
Yeah, we've got him looking into it. So, so I've been listening for a little bit. So this is a really shit graphic of what's going to happen. One's going to go one way, one's going to go the other way. One's going to do a backflip, and it's upside down and what have you. Look at it. Oh no, it's the right way up. Never mind. There we go. For everybody asking earlier on about where it was going to go. I'm sure it's going to draw. Yeah, the Indian. That's it. The Indian Ocean. It's going to plop down just off the coast of Australia. Look. Excuse me. And you can see the tiny little kink in it there. Look. Well, of course, on that sort of scale, it's tiny because, well, Australia's not very big there, is it? Let's be fair. So, for somebody asking earlier on, about what happens if it comes straight in and lands. Well, it's not going to come straight in. It's going to do like a landing pattern. For all the skydivers down there, it's going to go downwind and crosswind. But today it's not going to be landing on the chopsticks. It's not going to be caught like Danielson and all that. Let's just have a listen to the boss man.
Status continues to be good, both the range out here in the Gulf and out in the Indian Ocean. As you can see, we have started our propellant load. That happened at about 36 minutes before T0. We're loading about 20% faster on Pad 2 than we did on Pad 1. Our flight director, Ty Huntington's back in the chair again. He was there for Starship's first flight test and 11 back for V3. He did that final go, no go at about T-minus 1 hour. We do start loading on ship first. That happened at about T-minus 37. Booster follows about 1 minute later, starting with its liquid oxygen and then its liquid methane. And then ship fuel is the last one to kick off about T-minus 35. We're going to continue loading all of this propellant on board until about 3 minutes right before launch, 3 minutes 20 on ship, 2 minutes 50 on the booster. So we go pretty much right down to the wire. But as of this moment, still looking good. T0 set for 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Continuing to load prop, continuing to count down. All right. If you've been following along with these launches, you know we've been sending these suborbital and they splash down in the Indian Ocean. How the heck do we see some of that? Well, we have our recovery team, our Starship recovery team, and one of their primary jobs is to get those re-entry views and a whole lot more. We're going to take them now. We're joining them out in the...
Look at this guy with his... Look at this guy. Got a pair of scissors and a watch and a carabiner that's not connected to anything. But to be fair, I'd kill for his job. What a legend. Oh. And no doubt they're using Starlink as well. Anyway, we'll have a little listen to a minute.
All right, man. How many of these have you done? And like, walk us through. What's the recovery team's primary job out there?
I've done 6 and now 7 of these missions, and with every mission we've seen it evolve. And but our primary goal has always been to clear the range. So just like we do over in the Gulf, the same kind of happens here. We send 1 to 2 boats out and we make sure there's nothing in the area so that the rocket is clear to land. And then once we can guarantee that and have the rocket leave the pad, then we can proceed to imagery collection. So we have like...
Oh.
All right, we'll see if we can get him back. But they're out there in the Indian Ocean. I think everyone's familiar. They've got the buoy cams.
Yeah. So he's out on a ship out in the ocean. And, oh, look at that. There's a ship in the ocean. But seems like his connection is pretty crap. So, look, yeah, there's some cameras in the buoy boats. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm struggling to get a bit motivated here. I don't know, it's one of them. I have a feeling that they're going to abort the launch. But we're 17 minutes away, 18 minutes away. Let's get everything crossed, people. And one thing that's cool as well is that, and if they do a graphic of it, I'll put it back on the screen. Oh, we're going to have a little progress update from upstairs. Here we go, hang on.
If we want to get to the moon and then Mars as fast as possible, there's really only one answer: launch a lot more rockets.
Yeah, and to do that, we're going to need a few more launch pads and support buildings, which is exactly what we're working on over in Florida. So originally built for Apollo and then the Space Shuttle, Launch Complex 39A has flown 126 Falcon missions since SpaceX reactivated the pad in 2017.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's that many. Fun fact, I actually hosted the live webcast for our very first launch at Pad 39A, and it was so exciting to see that come back to life. It's also exciting to see how today, almost 10 years later, the ongoing construction...
Look at this, like, this is the pad that the rocket is currently sat on. This is them building it. Yeah, look at this, like, hang on, we'll put this back full screen. It's amazing. And to think they're building the same thing in Florida. This is Texas, so the opposite coast of America. This thing, the Gigabay, yeah, it's a giant assembly bay, basically. They're going to be mass producing these things. It's incredible. It's incredible. We'll have a listen again.
Florida is quickly taking shape with our very first launches on the horizon.
Yes, a horizon that aims for regular trips to the moon. Now, staying with the lunar conversation, we're going to head back up to Dan, who has Starship Vice President of Engineering, Bill Riley, our favorite webcast visitor, to talk about the moon.
That's right, Kate. Yeah, crashing the webcast again. Bill Riley, VP of Starship Engineering.
Awesome. Bill Riley, bit of a legend. VP of Starship. He's heavily involved with Starship and Artemis, so getting humans back on the moon. He's a bit of a legend, like. Let's have a little listen to see what he's saying.
Back to the moon and back exploring and being out farther than we had been before.
It's always wild when you see space stuff kind of break through into the mainstream, and like it felt like that really did it. And I mean, that's going to continue happening. We're looking at a higher cadence of missions in Artemis, and Starship's obviously going to play a pretty big role in the entire Artemis program, but like what's kind of next on the horizon?
I think what's exciting about Artemis 3 is you'll see the landers introduced now. So, maybe we're talking to NASA about doing an Earth orbit rendezvous where the Starship-based lander could be in proximity to Orion or even more. I think that's really the next step. Prove out those landers close to home in Earth orbit, and then looking ahead, going to the moon.
And we're debuting V3 now, and just some of the stuff that's now on this version of Starship is going to directly enable some of that, or it's planned to, correct?
That's right. So V3 is exciting because it really introduces it's designed to introduce all these fundamental foundational features that allow us to go out past the Earth. So for example, there's many features, but some that are visible are the docking adapters below the PEZ door that you'll notice on the as-built ship. And then as we look out past V3, there's other configurations of Starship. There is a tanker that takes the propellant to dock with the lander that will land on the moon. And think of the on-orbit propellant transfer as sort of like the gas station in the sky. And then that gas station will be what we call the depot.
And then the plan now, and the plan's been, but it's really emphasized now, we're not just going for flags and footprints, we're talking permanent infrastructure on the moon, right?
That's
awesome. Yeah, so we're looking at what the idea is. Like, let's get back to the moon. Man, can you imagine a driving range on the moon? It wouldn't be 4, it'd be 400. Right, I need to have a pee, and I'm going to get locked in for launch. Yeah, give me 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes. I will be back.
So much, Bill. I'm going to let you jump back in there as we get ready to launch this rocket. Thanks for nerding out on the moon with me for a couple of minutes. But we're not done. We got a little bit of more cool news. Stick around. Last year, the From 2 crew made history. They were the first astronauts ever to explore Earth's polar regions from space in Dragon. I got to catch up with that mission commander from that, Chun Wang. He was visiting one of the most remote places on the planet, and he had some exciting news. Awesome to talk to you. Start me off. Where the heck are you right now?
Thank you for joining me to Fui Island, and this isolated island in the South Atlantic. It's arguably the most remote island in the world.
It looks super isolated. You're only there with a couple of people. Kind of feels like a space mission to me. So let's just jump right in. You are going to be on the first interplanetary mission on a Starship.
So it's going to be a flyby mission of Mars. So a lot of people are talking about how Mars will be like. We're going to fly to Mars, we're going to land on Mars, we're going to build city on Mars. But let's get it started with a flyby.
Doing a flyby of Mars, that's a heck of a trip, but you're kind of built for this kind of mission, right? Because if you're not landing on the surface, you're spending a long time going out there, you're going to fly by it, it's going to be like just an insane couple of hours, and then it's a big trip back home. How are you kind of built to handle this kind of a journey?
This actually myself of spiral. I can stare at the map view on airplane all the way from takeoff to landing. So I think I'm enjoying the trip.
So it's not just the Mars flight, you're also going to be taking a trip around the moon, right? So kind of do that step before heading all the way out to Mars.
Yes, because even though it's just a flyby, it will try a lot of things that never been attempted before.
How do you kind of see these types of missions in kind of the grand scheme of everything?
It will light the fire. It will ignite imagination, and it will build the momentum. After we come back from Mars, you'll have an opportunity to take some real photos of Mars. Mars will no longer become a distant space. It will become reality.
Well, Chun, thanks for calling in from the other side of the planet. Super cool location, super cool to talk to you, and exciting. You're going to get on Starship, you're going to go around the moon, and then do the first flyby of Mars. It's insanely exciting stuff.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Oh man, fireworks indeed. Just incredible to be one of the first humans to become an interplanetary traveler while also joining Starship's first mission to fly past the moon.
Yeah, Chun is certainly a one-of-a-kind explorer. And it's even more exciting to know everyone can join a future Starship mission.
Yeah. If what you just heard excites you, challenges you, inspires you, we'd like to hear from you. Come join our team. Be one of the people walking past us out to the lawn to watch the world's best rocket launch. Help shape the literal future of humanity. Now, we need the best and the brightest, and we need you right now.
Yeah, and we have tons of openings all across the company where we're looking for talented engineers and technicians at all of our sites, including McGregor, Texas, where we test every single one of these Raptor V3 engines behind us. Bastrop, Texas, where we build and assemble Starlink user terminals.
We also need help up in Redmond, Washington. That's Starlink's global headquarters, where, among other things, we manufacture Starlink satellites. If you like the fall weather, that might be the place for you. And as you've seen throughout today's show, there is a tremendous amount of activity happening right here at Starbase Texas. Here and everywhere, it's all part of the incredible opportunity that we have to build the future of humanity.
Yeah, so if you're interested, visit spacex.com/careers to see these and all of our other openings.
Now, I can tell you that the crowd is certainly starting to grow. Behind us, you see the launch pad there.
Awesome. Right then. So, yeah, we're about just under 8 minutes away. Hopefully, we're going to watch this gigantic thing launch off the launch pad. You can see, let me put it full screen. You can see the, let's have a look. So of the silver section, if you split the silver section into thirds, the top third will be the methane or methane, and the bottom 2/3 will be oxygen. Oh, look out. There's a lady interfering with us. I don't know who she is. Hang on, let's have a listen.
Welcome, Nikki. It's so nice to have you here.
Oh, it's Nicki Minaj.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh my gosh.
Nicki Minaj.
What do you think the Barbs are going to say when they see you here at Starbase?
They better say all good.
I'm going to mute her. I'm sorry, I don't like her. Look at the way she holds a microphone. She holds a microphone like she holds a dick. Don't like it. However, right, Nikki, number one, cut your nails, get your nail clippers out, chop them nails. Look at this. That's disgusting. Like, chop your nails, Nikki. Oh, hang on. Ah, we can't see. Yeah, look at her fingernails there. Chop your fingernails off, you dirty bitch. Is it Nicki Minaj? Help me out in the chat, people. Oh, somebody turned your microphone off. But to be fair though, Jess, kudos, man. Nicki Minaj, like, getting involved with spaceflight. I mean, she's like, she loses about 14,000 points for her nails, but she gains like 13,900 because she's promoting spaceflight. That's awesome. That is awesome. Ta-ra, Nikki. Piss off. Oh, look out. 5.5 minutes. Come on, you bastards. We keep flopping and flowing. You see, Dan's chatting bollocks. Yeah, Nicki Minaj. She is a minge. Sorry to the PC crew. Hold tight, my my misfits. Look at this, man. What a drone shot. Oh, it's gone. Sorry, listening in.
Pounds of that liquid methane, liquid oxygen on those two stages. After that, we have to essentially get the pad ready for launch. We'll do something called pushbacks, where all of those lines running underground from the propellant farm up to the vehicle.
So all of that white stuff you see there is ice. Like I said, that super cool propellant and oxidizer, or oxygen and methane. It's like minus 270 degrees centigrade ish, give or take. They're both slightly different, but they're around that. And like I say, the ambient temperature in Texas is 40 degrees. So of course that super cool temperature on the inside is hitting the outside, and of course all the oxygen in the and hydrogen in the atmosphere, when it touches it, is turned into water because it's so cold and it's freezing to the outside. So when it takes off, you'll see all these little bits of well, I say little, it'd probably be the size of a car windscreen, but all these big bits of ice fall off. Super cool. And as you can see from there as well, we're super close on fuel. Let's go back full screen. What I'm going to do while I'm full screen, I'm going to put a little me somewhere. Hang on a minute. I will leave them talk a bit.
Commodity lines that connect the pad to the vehicles. Both the ship and the booster configure their comm systems for flight and...
You wouldn't want a prostate exam from Nicki Minaj. As long as she brings a coat hanger and she goes up my nostril, she'd have to undo the coat hanger. I hope my buddy Adam Williams is watching. If you're not watching, Adam, I hate you. Oh, this is exciting. 2.5 minutes. Come on. Let's have it. Is it going to go? Is it not going to go? Here we go. We're going to listen in again. Sorry.
And there's a chance we could recycle, but the closer we get to T-minus 10, the lower that chance becomes.
Come on.
All right, we are coming up on 2 minutes. We have completed propellant loading on the booster. Just shut down the fuel pump for loading onto the ship, so we're closing all of that out now. 2 minutes to go. One kind of exciting aspect to V3, we're not going to start the engines up in kind of different sets. All 33 of those Raptors going to turn on all at once.
What?
We're going to see the booster move off the pad a whole lot quicker.
That's insane. So up until now, when they start the engines, they start like the outer ring of 33 on the booster, and then the inner ring, and then the gimbal one's the 3 on the inside. purely because, like I say, there's millions of pounds of thrust at liftoff, and you think of all that stainless steel, it can distort and twist and all sorts under all of that sort of stress from underneath. So to find out that they're going to fire all 33 at the same time is a bit, that's going to be berserk. Look at this. Oh, people, I cannot wait. Look at it. And if you're listening on this, T-minus 1 minute, we're going to listen in on the count. So I'm going to try and get them the same as my, there we go. Should be able the same as mine. Digi, thanks for dropping by, man. We're less than a minute away. Here we go.
All right, so we did hit the hold at T-minus 40. Again, this is something that is built into the timeline. Not surprising, as we are doing this first flight off of pad 2. Sounds like we might already be clear. We held for a second just to make sure that the quick disconnect vents were basically ready for their final throwbacks. So we'll hang tight for a couple of seconds. I think we're about to reset, and the reset is in. Counting down, first flight of Starship V3. Psych, back to rapid recycle.
Okay, so we're at T-minus 41 and we're holding. We'll hold for a little bit. Hopefully they'll restart the countdown before long, but there's apparently some pressure differentials in the disconnect from the ship, between the tower and the ship. So hopefully they can balance that and we will be game back on. Yeah, we're chilling out for a little bit. Come on, let's go. Let's have him. And if they don't launch, at least they'll be they will be, oh, look out, we're launching, right? Oh, this is the one, people. T-minus 30 seconds. I will listen to this. You can hear all these engines breathing.
Hold at T-minus 40 again.
Oh, we're back to 40. Okay. Yeah, just stick that one on for a minute.
This last one.
Listen to that. All of that
Reminder,
gas
we can
venting.
hang out for quite a few minutes at T-minus 40 if we need the extra time. You're not actively loading propellant onto the vehicle anymore, so the main thing you're kind of keeping an eye on is all of the temperatures inside those propellant tanks.
Come on, let's have it. At least, if they're not going to launch, at least they've managed to fully fuel it. And it's just hanging out. We haven't had a rapid unscheduled disassembly yet. That's fantastic news. We'll see, Jess, man. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. They can stop at 40 seconds for...
Alright, we're continuing to hang out here at T-minus 40.
Can't remember how long, but they can stop here for a little while, so... All is not lost, man. But we're listening. I'm going to turn these guys up for a minute.
Right now at our diverter, so that water diverter underneath the system did trip a hold, but that basically just gives the team the chance to look at it, see if it's something that we need to troubleshoot in data or if it's something that we can clear this hold. So continuing to hang tight, T-minus 40 seconds. Starship and Super Heavy fully loaded on the pad. Clock is rolling.
Oh, here we go. Come on, 35 seconds. Here we go. Come on. Let me move me out of the way.
2S30, flight directors, go for launch.
Let's move me. I'm going to make me smaller. I'll stick me there. I'll do.
Kick back to rapid recycle again.
Oh, look out. More problems.
Again, just a reminder, said it before, new pad, new rocket, learning new things about this hardware performing in the flight environment. Taking a look at some of the sensors on the arm that manages the quick disconnect to the ship.
Look at that, like from the sky. As I said, gateway to Mars.
We've got a couple more minutes where we can hang out here. Again, it's not an unlimited time to pause at T-40. We're keeping an eye on the propellant temperatures inside the vehicles. So we've got probably about 3 minutes.
Come on, SpaceX. Come on, you had all your problems in the week.
Team's taking a look at the hold that tripped on that arm for the quick disconnect on the tower.
Sounds like they've had a whole range of issues here. From the quick disconnect on the ship to the flame trench. No, it's not, Digi. It's not going to run before it clears the tower, man. Maybe it's not even going to go. Oh, big dog. Yeah, maybe it's not going to go, Digi. Ah, that's better. I've been trying to get more on the camera and I'm turning the wrong way, look. Come on, SpaceX, we got this. And we're just listening in, yeah.
Still holding T-40, still troubleshooting this issue. Probably got about a minute or a minute and a half left of hold time.
Well, if they don't launch tonight, it'll be tomorrow, or after that, there's a couple of days where they can't launch, and then there's another couple of days where they can. So here's hoping it goes in the next couple of days. Oh, it's gone up past midnight. It's my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. Many happy returns of the day. Look at that for an onboard shot. Come on. Okay, they're still working through the issue. There's a small amount of time remaining where they can hold. But it's looking less and less likely. Come on, SpaceX. Thanks, Digi. Go to bed, man. You got work to do. Go to bed. By the looks of this, it's going to be a scrub, and we'll be back tomorrow. And if that's the case, same time next week, or at least same time tomorrow. Here's some vent in there.
Still continuing to hold here at T-40. While we do that, the team's looking at temperatures of the propellant inside those tanks. We kind of check that against simulations that we've run in the past. There's some margin in those. We're still holding, no decision yet.
Come on. Let's have it. Yeah.
Sounding like we have the fix in place.
Oh, here we go. 40
Hold
seconds.
Set. Clocks is rolling.
Let's have it. What I'm going to do, I am going to tune out for the next 10 seconds. It's back to 40. And another hold. I think this might be it for the day, people. Oh, I wasn't hyped
back
enough.
At our T-minus 40 hold.
I wasn't hyped
to
enough.
See what tripped us this time.
We'll see though. We'll pay attention. Yeah. So the base the rocket's held on, called the OLM, Jess, orbital launch mount, and like I say, this was the result of all of the not failures, but Elon Musk decided.
It is sounding like we are not going to be able to clear this issue in
Yeah,
time.
that's a bit of bad news today. Standing down from launch today, so we'll try again tomorrow. But yeah, just where am I? Where am I? Hang on a minute. Let me get a full screen again, and let me take him out of my ear. There we go. So yeah, we're not going to be launching tonight, people. Sorry to keep you all up late. We'll try again tomorrow. But yeah, the orbital launch mount, Jess, was sorry, I'm just listening to him as well at the same time. He's talking nonsense. Like I say, Elon Musk's thing was the best part, there's no part, and because he tried without this flame suppression system and all the rest of it a couple of times and then failed. This is the latest sort of iteration of it, and he reckons this is the one. So they did like a dry run where they lit all 33 engines and it nailed it. But in testing, they've had a lot of problems with it, you know. So hopefully they'll clear that up. I'll stick something on my Facebook about when the next launch is going to be. I say next launch, next attempt. I think it's going to be tomorrow. I tell you what, we'll look at Twitter now. Where's Twitter? Same time tomorrow. Oh, look out. Yes, Digi. Thank you, Digi. Because that's the kind of thing I'm after. Like I say, I don't really want to be live streaming these SpaceX launches, but I'd rather be sitting down watching them downstairs on TV. But it's just for me to get into using the tech and stuff. It's part of a bigger plan, man. It's part of a bigger plan. But yes, I think I've got your number. I'll have a look when I get offline now. We will hopefully try again tomorrow. Did you expect a PM from me in the next 2 minutes or so? Well, a couple of minutes. I need to just sort my shit out, sort my life out. But thanks everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and see you tomorrow. Oh, hang on. Let me try this. No. There we go. We'll try this one.
I am ready. Woohoo! Kick ass! Woohoo! Ninja speed! Almost there! Yes! My little plane! Ninja takeoff sequence, go! Climbing to the top! Time to bail out! Uh-oh, chute stuck! Woohoo! Skydiving rules! Ninja speed! Awesome view! Coming in hot! Time to fly! Doors open, here I go! Whee! Parachute away!